everybody! Welcome back, welcome back. First, let me know how is volume. I'm not the best at gauging it. Gauging it anymore. These headphones. But important announcement before we begin. I've gotten Darkest Dungeon working properly. It is smooth. I can navigate tooltips. I can press the X button. It has been achieved. So we shall return to the Darkest Dungeon. I was just like reinstalling some drivers and stuff. I don't know which part actually fixed it, but it works. That's the important thing. But hello, let's see. Okay, Sun. Hi, Fanny Moon. Hi, Kadia. Hi, Simon. Hi, Levachine. Hydrofied Eye Pills. Let's see. Ah, welcome! Welcome to your territory, Cultist Simulator devs. That is true. So this popped up for me. First it popped up as just like a trailer. Hey, good questions, everyone, because I will say this first popped up as a trailer, and I was like, I'm into this. I'm into this. And then I actually saw that it was part of the Choices Matter festival. And then reading the description, I learned that this was part of the Cultist Simulator Book of Hours. I didn't know. Just the demo. This is just the demo. There's chat is covering it, but there is the big demo sign there. Yes, this is part of that franchise or series, and I think they're also like Fallen London. Maybe? Which I have not tried. Actually, I had Book of Hours on like wishlist. I bought it the day it came out, made a thumbnail. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, am I getting confused with something else that they did as well? Oh, that was great. Thank you. I might be confusing it with something else they did. I bought Book of Hours. Lead writer from London Quinn found his own studio for this. Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Bought Book of Hours, made the thumbnail. The thumbnail exists. It's still like in my unstreamed, unlisted streams, and then went to grad school instead. So that's what happened. I still want to play Book of Hours because it seems right up my alley. So I know very little outside of like trailers. Oh, excuse me. One sec. Okay, excuse me. But they're both like sort of card adjacent, so I was interested. But I think, yeah, I see Crash Course PowerPoint. I think for this demo, what I want to do is I might just, not ask for any explanation, and because I've heard like this can be an introduction to the world and just sort of get a feel for it on my own. I might be like asking stuff out loud, but don't necessarily answer it, if that's all right, because I think it's also important for like the devs and the other people to see what it's like for somebody who's not familiar with the lore. And it's something I really enjoyed about Disco Elysium, is going into it with like not having even watched it. Maybe I watched one trailer and just having no clue of the setting. And I think it really helps put you in slowly discovering that world and trying to put together how it works. Is a really fun and valuable aspect of that game. So this, I think they actually do call it like inspired by Disco Elysium, because I'm always a little like, iffy about using the term disco-like in that I don't want games to just exist as comparisons. And I think it can be, even if it can be very flattering, I don't want to like view everything in the same frame or terms of like Disco Elysium, even though I think it does have what a lot of these types of games have is the sort of like text in a bar on the side. Which I've been wondering if Disco was the first one to do that, but it just works as a good UI. So this is the demo. I think it's between an hour and 2 hours, so we will just jump in. And look, I love the UI. I love the complex. I saw like flashes of like the menus, I think, in the trailer, and I was like, oh, I gotta play this. And I gotta say, I also really like that title music. Let's see, who are you, Hollow Man? Antigua al-Maritim, November 1948, at least as far as anyone can tell. 12 years ago in Krakow, the worms hollowed me out. For the next 3 years, they steered me all around Europe, until at last I got away to a place where there was a kind of help. The worms are gone now, but I've only begun to fill up the spaces they left. I was back with the Bureau again when the worms took me, but still, I think of myself above all as the Exorcist. Okay. Oh, this is the good stuff. Exorcist, writer, conjurer, physician, passions, aspect pool. Oh wow. Look at these. What I saw as an exorcist assistant and then the priest of an unusual parish led me to question my faith, and I left the church shortly afterwards. From 1919 to 1921, Spencer was a priest of the church, Solar. Ordination marks the the luminous element of the soul permanently, so he can technically perform the sacraments, though he might be breaking church law. That gives us, and then we can choose a passion. Oh, we'll just go through these, and then we'll see. Oh, nice turtleneck. What else can an educated man with no useful skills do for a living? Investigative journalism, book reviews, pseudonymous fiction, plays no one would perform. As a writer, I made a lot of the wrong kinds of friends. Good times. From 1921 to 25, Spencer worked as a journalist and private inquiry agent. I was always good with my hands. As a conjurer, I was always good with my hands, and I took that talent to the stage to pay the bills. Eventually, my illusions were sufficiently convincing to draw the attention of the Suppression Bureau. Oh, I love it. I love, like, definitional tooltips. Bureau. The Suppression Bureau, an organization founded in service to the duties. The Bureau recruited me when I lived in London, and again after I left the Legion. Both times it ended badly for both sides. Oh, okay, so this, like, pins it. Oh, that's nice, because there's, like, tooltips within tooltips. The duties. The mortal and immortal institutions like the Bureau, that from time immemorial kept the hidden world from intruding into the everyday. All seems a bit pointless now, really. Tooltips within tooltips. Definitions and definitions, this is the good stuff. Or a physician. I never completed my medical degree, though I learned enough to set a bone and treat a fever. I was distracted by medicine's occult hinterlands. In 1927, Spencer was sponsored by the Suppression Bureau to study medicine. When that arrangement fell apart in 1930, he signed up for 5 years as a medical officer in the Légion de... Souille? Give my French here. The Threshold Legion. Oh, okay, that Threshold. Oh, and these are also relatable. Found in service of the duties to guard the edges of things, almost anyone or anything is accepted as a recruit as long as they're prepared to endure the training and abandon their old lives. After 3 years service, recruits who survive may apply A for citizenship of a sponsoring nation, and B, if necessarily, to be considered formally human. The Legion's motto is Honneur et Humanité. Its unofficial motto, more often cited by the Legionnaires, is "Lui ou saigne, sweat or bleed." That formerly human, that like occult medicine is compelling to me. But then we get to choose a passion. So exercise honor, anger, sorrow, cynicism, ambition, whimsy, curiosity, appetite, cynicism. Oh, the kitty is good. Position, compassion, ambition, curiosity. Okay, wait, let's check out aspect pool. Edge. All conquest occurs at the edge. One who dwelt there was blind. Another was strong. The third we always tried not to talk about. Edge is the principle of battle and struggle. Colonel, Linesmith, Wolf divided were its hours, but they're uncounted now, and strife feeds on strife. Capitalized. Hours. Uncounted. Principle, the most fundamental elements of reality, or the various natures of the hours, or words tumbled in eternity's echoes, or abstruse occult categories obsessively argued over obsessives. Hi, King. No, we're on the first page of character creation, and I think this might take some time, but what else do you want from character creation? You want the first episode to be entirely character creation, and like clicking through all the little class menus and such. Principle. Oh, we can also do this. Hour. The secret gods who live behind the world, perilous, sublime, merciless, and suppressing competition. Some rose through the ranks of no and long and names. Some came by their estate in a different way entirely. Before the wars, the hours made sense of history. Their debates and compromises braided many paths into one coherent future. Now they're probably generally gone, uncounted. History's open to ontological incoherence and hierophanic sabotage. To put plainly, seasons are wrong, people aren't people, and there are holes in France. In Arknights, France is just gone. Secret gods. Some rose to the ranks of known long and names. Some came by their estate in a different way entirely. Hold on, I'm just... checking. Well, France might come back. Secret gods. Okay, ours are secret gods. Ours. This is like tooltip within. Tooltip within tooltip. Okay. Don't struggle. Heart. Heart is the principle that preserves and endures, so the world goes on, with the thunder skin, the heart relentless. The hour that once protected the skin of the world we understand, the heart relentless, has fallen silent. Oh, moth. I like moths. I knew a man who captured moths in a bell jar. On nights like this, he would release them one by one to die in the candle. Moth is the principle of chaos and yearning. Are its hours uncounted now, or just different? Moth's hard to expect, and we have these color matching. So you like purple and yellow. What if we click these? What? Oh gosh. Uh-oh. Even more. Okay. Okay. We'll keep going. Oh yeah, okay, so these also give us... Okay, Spencer's passion provides aspects, increasing the chance of success with skills that use those aspects currently. Nyctodromy, Skolekosophy, dignity, and ithistry. I know what eloquence means. Fire, I read once, is the winter that warms and the spring that consumes. The hour we call the Forge of Days is uncounted now, but Forge is still the principle that transforms and destroys. There's been a lot of that recently. In principle, elements of reality. Nog permits no seal and no isolation. It is the principle that thrusts us out of the safety and ignorance. Wounds and doors are Nog. The hour that unsealed and unseamed is uncounted now. Another hour stood at every threshold. Perhaps it persists. Rose. A principle of exploration, enlightenment, hope. 9 directions to new horizons. Here are hours that the winged rise. Grail. Hunger, lust, the drowning waters. The hour we named for it is uncounted now. The Grail principle once honored equally the birth and the feast. Perhaps it still does. The world goes on making babies since the wars, though the babies don't necessarily come out quite as they used to. Lantern. The principle of intellect, revelation, aureate clarity. Too much lantern and everything's too clear. And winter. Winter is the principle of silence, of endings, and of the things that are not quite dead. Oh, that one's interesting. I guess I should probably like start from just one of these. Exorcist, writer, conjurer, physician. They're all interesting to me. I like I mean, it's funny because there's like 3 sort of semi-magical ones and one a bit more mundane, but it's a fun one. Writer. I feel, and then I have a hard time with sometimes with character creation and fully role playing in games sometimes. Because I came into like Fallout New Vegas with like definite ideas of I want to play like a chaotic neutral character, but then I find it hard to make mean decisions. And some of that might be because I'm streaming. I don't want people to judge me, but in general I like playing the good type of characters, even if I like the idea of like chaotic neutral, living for yourself from a role-playing perspective. So I don't know what I want to like roleplay. Occult medicine is kind of compelling to me. I guess we have to look through what all these are as well. Guess we'll go through them. Honor. Who you are is what you do when no one's watching. A passion. Honorable choices may involve self-discipline, honesty, or just courtesy. And then passion. Driving qualities that help you decide your goals. You start with 1, you can develop another 2. Increase your passions with experience. It only. Increase your passions and experiences, and they'll add more pips to your aspect pool. Whenever you act with a passion, it will refresh a pip of every relevant aspect in your pool. To put it simply, increasing your passions and acting with them helps you pass checks on skills which match the passion. But people change. That's called character development, trauma, disillusionment, experience. So if your actions recently have drifted another way, you can spend your experiences to evolve one passion into another when you level it up. I love games that give me a ton of options to character create. Yeah, this is. And I like that they're sort of like explaining the system a little bit, because sometimes you like. I'm just gonna use Disco Elysium as like the basis here. Like, allocating stats at the beginning. I was like, I don't know what... These are all interesting, but I don't know how they apply yet. And then, I don't know, is this gonna be the way I want to play necessarily? You know? Let's see. But people change. Experience can be used to improve existing skills or learn a new one. You'll need experiences that match at least one aspect on the relevant skill. One has no talent. I have no talent. It's just a question of working, of being willing to put in the time. Graham Greene. Every skill is linked to 3 aspects. This tells you something about the skill in the world. It also allows you to use matching points from your aspect pool to get a better outcome when use of a skill goes badly. Passing a skill check will give you matching experiences. Failing a skill check gives you more experiences, but also matching trouble. You can improve skills with those experiences. A virtuous circle, though not a perfect one. And then we have aspect pool. Through your signs and passions, you can express the fundamental principles underlying all things, which in practical terms means you can spend pips from your pool to force a success on a skill test that you fail. You can only do this with skills that match the aspect points that you're using. If your aspect pool is deleted, then acting with a grain of a sign or passion will refresh one of the more matching pips. And then a sign is an unusual right, condition, wound, or nature that adds pips to your aspect pool, and perhaps has other effects. You begin with one sign. Hollowed out as you are, you still have room for more. It's useful to have a passion whose aspects matches a sign, then acting with the passion will fetch the pip signs as well. An aspect in nature that something might possess. Some aspects are grand occult principles like forge or lantern. Others are more practical qualities. An outfit might be warm or formal. And others touch both worlds. Esoteric tools have aspects like quell or entwine, which unlock new choices. So it seems to, I mean, mostly what I'm getting from that is, like, you don't have to, but it helps to roleplay and match what you're going for. So sorrow is white moth in winter, which is interesting to me. To avenge whatever I might suffer, to be feared. Is anger a passion? Forceful, aggressive, or spiteful choices embody anger. But Spencer isn't a violent man. And sorrow. Though much abides, much is taken. Choices which acknowledge regret are sorrowful, so usually is a choice to remain silent. Oh, interesting. Silence is a valid option, except when it's not. Cynicism. So that's knock in winter. It is what it is. A passion. Though we might not feel like it counts as a passion. Self-centered or deceitful or skeptical actions are all cynical. Ambition. To strive, to achieve, to rise. Aspirational, confident, prideful, or arrogant choices are ambitious. And whimsy. Whimsy looks fun. Yes, I did. And what? Passion. Whimsical choices are not often constructive. That one might be fun. That's moth. Conjure gives us curiosity. There's always something more to know. I'm interested in that one. Passion. Appetite. More of it, whatever it is. Avarice, lust, gluttony, all the fun ones. A passion. Then we have cynicism again. Passion. Only 1 million people can help 1 million people. But 1 person can help 1 person. Gentle or empathetic conversation choices often count as compassionate. And curiosity. I mean, also, so compassion just belongs to... So some of these are, like, unique. Although I assume we can, like, get them later. Lean towards curiosity. Like the esoteric stuff a little bit. And then... I mean, this is just a demo, but, like, realistically, I'm also interested in, like... sorrow, just for the aspects. And then maybe compassion, or cynicism even. Okay, we keep going. One sip of tea. We'll get these birdsong, bosk, charm, dignity, eloquence, oromachistry, hushery, illumination, ithistry, stagecraft, nyctodromy, preservation, scolechosophy. Oh yeah, and then I have to pay attention. Do I want some of these? Illumination looks interesting. So we can only assign these into these. Okay, anyway, let's read through these and then decide do I want something else entirely. A birdsong, music, riddles, miscellanea, half-remembered conversations, the fruits of gossip and eavesdropping. One of the arts unconsidered. It can be used at thresholds, capitalized, and at verdant places. Failing a birdsong check will add weariness, and then arts unconsidered. Practices sometimes rejected by scholars and adepts as primitive, crude, distasteful, or silly. Arts unconsidered are unworldly skills. They can have quietly miraculous effects, but they usually need some preparation. This world is really cool. Bosk, the lore of the primeval wood, rarely written, often felt. One of the arts unconsidered, used in verdant and shadowed places. Failing a bosk check will add dread. Charm. I have a knack of being liked, and people who like me will often do things for me. Charm makes lies more plausible and pleas more effective. It's less useful if your listener is hostile, wary, or duty-bound. A worldly skill, failing charm checks will add trace. Tell me about worldly skills. Worldly skills are essential in conversation, dealing with people in real situations. They don't need preparation. I have low charm. Dignity. I can project an air of authority and respectability. Something I learned in my time as a priest and as a medic. Failing dignity checks will add trace. Eloquence. I'm good with words. This can often be useful when I want to explain to something why they might need help, or at least ensure they'll enjoy listening. It can also be useful for speed reading or spotting details like world choice in subtext. Oh, that's cool. The world is super cool. They have their own built-up lore that carries from other games. I love it. I do love it when... I mean, I guess this is like Project Moon as well, like their own lore. And they're really dedicated to it. And also like trying 3 very different games from it. And they're like making these systems work and adapting. Making these systems work and adapting it despite the gameplay, which I think is really interesting, and keep going. It's like I'm feeling there's a good chance that I will be trying Book of Hours fairly soon. I don't have Cultist Simulator, but that can be changed. The laws and contention of the hours and their emanations covers church doctrine and to some extent technique, although technique is more usually illumination. Like illumination, it's a bright art, used at thresholds and in holy places. Failing a oromachistry checks will add fascination, illumination. Mystical exercises to purify and illuminate the self and its surroundings, discouraging undesirable influences and inducing desirable revelations. Church practice and some doctrine, although doctrine is usually more oromachistry. One of the bright arts can be used in holy and quiet places, failing illumination checks. Okay, and then bright art. Those invisible arts that overlap most closely with the secret doctrine of the church, alchemies, meditations, the least strongly prescribed summonings. Bright arts are worldly skills. They can have otherworldly effects, but they usually need some preparation. Aesthetic. Oh, this one's cool. Aesthetics, necromancy, silence, and night art used at shadowed or quiet places. Failing hushery treks will add dread. Illumination. I was just wondering, just going back to like disco, you could choose, there's like 3 sort of presets, or then sort of doing your own. Like if I wanted to use some of these other ones, what would I have to do to get them? This one's cool. Illumination. Mystical exercises to purify and illuminate the self and its surroundings, discouraging undesirable influences and inducing desirable revelations. Church practice and some doctrine, although doctrine is usually more hermagistry. One of the bright art. Pulling quiet places. Failing illumination checks will add fascination. We do have Ithistry available. The art that alters. Alchemy, pyrotechnics, metallurgy. One of the bright arts used at hearths and in holy places, Ithistry can be used for any alchemy recipe, although at a slightly higher difficulty than more specialist skills. Okay, so this is like a crafting skill. Failing Ithistry checks will add fascination. We also stagecraft, performer's presence, legerdemain, and magician's tricks. A worldly skill. Failing stagecraft checks will add weariness. Nyctodromy? Some of these I'm not sure if this is a made-up word or just a word I completely don't know. Traveling at night is neither faster nor safer. That's what we do. Oh, that's... I mean, there's a title job, but that's a good one. I was already wondering about the title. Knowledge of the ways and byways of the transmundane. One of the night arts usable at thresholds and wounded places. Failing a Nyctodromy checks will add dread. Observation. I notice details others don't. A worldly skill, failing will add weariness, preservation, healing, restoration, curation. The most benign uses of the invisible arts, often the place where those uses overlap with worldly medicine. One of the arts unconsidered, used at hearths and in verdant places. Failing, preservation checks will add weariness. Scolechosophy. Study of things that should not be studied. Worms, earthquakes, subreal innervations. One of the night arts, it can be used at wounded and shadowed places. Failing, will add dread. Sophistication. I know that word. Knowledge of art, culture, life's finer material pleasures. The ability to pick up subtle references or make clever ones. So for what exactly? This is the least useful worldly skill. Although it will, among other things, give Spencer some ability with languages other than the ones he speaks fluently. English, French, and German. Failing will add weariness. This could be it could be like the flavor text skill, like encyclopedia. Very useful if you want the world building. I'm gonna finish my tea before we're out of character creation. Spivery. I've hung around with disreputable people doing disreputable things. I might be able to find goods on the black market, and if I had to do something criminal, I'd have a good start. Oh, that's fun too. A worldly skill. I'm leaning towards the more magically oriented things, and if I had the ability to get them later, I'm interested in ushery, illumination, birdsong. So if I went sorrow with that would give you these two. Oh, okay, so these are bound by your job, your class, rather than your passion. Conjurer. Okay. I'm like least interested in like I am interested in the worms. So I guess least interested in dignity here. And like let's add I mean we could just do like okay, so max 7. The third game is out. This is just the demo. This is just the demo. Let's do something like... Sign Arlequin's Infliction. What is happening? A heart condition. I picked it up at the stag door while I was away. My heart goes first one way, then another. It is not to be relied on. If I change these, does that change the sign? Like if I went like... Oh, okay. So this also changes the sign. Heart condition. My heart yearns to rise. I think it might leave me behind. If I go like... I don't know. Arrow's pang, heart condition. Sometimes my heart falters. Sometimes I feel the sting of its tender opening. That sounds interesting too. I don't like the unreliable one. Oh, it has a winter. Maybe this? When I came back to Europe after the war, my heart told me I should seek out Nina Lagasse, actress, artist, witch. She'll know where I can find the things I need to fill my emptiness again. Nina is notoriously elusive, but I followed her trail from Alexandria, where they brought me back to Antibes, where I now arrive. Sure. Oh, one of those click and hold. Persistence influences are essential for crafting, but don't travel well. Preserve them by making memories. Oh, moving around. To move, click on. Oh good, you already know what you're doing. Carry on. Click tutorial messages to disable them. Let's see, let's see. Okay, WASD for camera. Big demo button. Oh, I love the art style. Oh yeah, here's the good stuff. One winter... Oh, hollow and scarred. There used to be more in me. An absence that may be filled with any passion. Scarred, something's been cut out of me. Go ahead, King. Let's see, I'm just making sure chat's not covering anything up, but Spencer Hobson, physician, serial number, date of issue, ranks captain, Dorsetshire regiment, demobilized, detective Austerity Suppression Bureau dismissed, medicine lieutenant, Légion du Soy Libert. 3 signs. That's 1. Okay, stag door. Tell me the stag door. Oh gosh. Tooltips and footnotes. Expand a tooltip to keep it as a footnote. Later press F or click footnotes button to search and revisit footnotes you found. Here's a footnote about footnotes. Oh my gosh. Hey, what do you call a fish that fixes pianos? Tuna fish! I like that one. I like that one. Well done, well done. If only life came with footnotes. Choices. Add a tooltip to your footnotes by focusing on it. Once you've done that, you can always find it by searching its name via footnote search. Most footnotes come with opportunities for reflection, self-expression, or angst, allowing you to choose an experience. You don't have to make the choice straight away. The footnotes finder will track and remind you of footnotes with incomplete choices. I understand. Oh! Oh, interesting. Have a lovely night, King. Confirm. In one winter experience. Get choices and footnotes. Stag door, a ridged barrier of blood-soaked horn, huge enough for a ship to pass. It was broken long ago, and even now the scars are not quite healed. The stag door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. I used to go there in my higher dreams. When I was younger, and then again when I was away from the world, I got to know its guardian pretty well. In pity. Oh my gosh. I'm like astounded. I mean, this is a game made for me. The idea that you get like experience from like clicking into the footnotes. Oh my gosh. I'm stunned. Yeah, I've been like stun locked by this. Build maxing for analysis. I remember a night when Kirby was talkative. He spoke in his siege engine voice of the histories he'd overheard in the waking world. I listened until his stories tailed off again into weeping. Gives one... okay, that one's Rose? Okay, good. I remember that a night when Kirby spoke of the door. Our company, it was that shattered it. Before the gods who were flesh, the house was forbidden to mortals. We were the first to know. I wish we had not. I wish I had died in the world. I remember a night when Kirby wept again. I scooped up his tears of molten brass in my cup palm. In the dream, my skin peeled and blistered, but only in the dream. And then this one is Forge. Might add something to Rose, because I'd like to build it up as well. And one Rose experience. I never be able to play this. Well, it's just the demo, so I'm not being as paralyzed as I could be. The Glorious quote: "Why does it disturb us that the map be included in the map and the 1,001 Nights in the book of the 1,001 Nights?" Glorious. We have our inventory. Looking dapper. Oh, wardrobe, respectable, gives us dignity and preparation. Oh, to change your outfit. Total skills. We have a trouble section of our inventory. You should demo that esoteric ebb game. I want to. Actually, before it was released, I was gonna play the demo. My one apprehension with like these heavy games is these like very text heavy. Because I I struggle with them if they're not, for me streaming personally, if they're not voice acted. Although, and I heard like voice acting was a potential for that game, so I was sort of holding off on it. It's not like a knock on the game, but it just makes it like a little easier for me to commentate. When I'm not like needing to read every single thing out, and I can absorb it a little better as well. Radel left. But I get the, but I'm not gonna like, for like smaller studios and such, and for like a first release, like Disco Elysium didn't have, only had like partial voice acting on the first release. Like I don't expect there to be like voice acting for like all these tooltips, but for like long conversations and such, I don't have very good like vocal stamina. So then my voice starts to hurt, and then I feel less like commentating because I just rather get the voice acting out. Right to left, a web of subtle work to encourage peace, healing, and a slow knitting together of possibilities. Drag this to one of your active item slots. Using this item to help with a successful skill test will consume it. A failed skill test won't consume it. Interesting, active oh. You've set this item's active. Active items work slightly differently in traveling at night from equipped items in most games. Mouse over the active items header to learn more. The item you just equipped is exhausted on use. It'll provide its bonus once. The first time a skill check and dialogue calls on it, then disappear. You can craft or buy replacements, and you'll probably end up with more items than you can equip at one time. But we didn't want you to be surprised when it gets used up. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's good to like have it just in case, but okay. First, look at this one. Okay, so this one won't be consumed. Linen and chromatic catgut, or chromic catgut, silicon silkworm gut, instruments of ivory, silver, and steel. This item is assigned as active. It's modifying your skill checks, but no negatives. And then preservation and bosk. Okay, I was like, pretty good. We got out of character creation in under an hour, but I think now we have to get through all of these menus. Now I have to read all of these menus. An active item gives a modifier to skill checks when you have it ready to use. You can keep up to 4 items active, but the modifiers won't sum. Only the best one applies. 4 hammers are not more effective than 1 hammer. Some items are cumbersome, dangerous, or embarrassing and apply negative modifiers to skill checks. The good news is that because the best modifier always applies, any bonuses will cancel out any number of penalties. So if an item gives a negative modifier to a skill, any positive modifier will counteract all negatives. Spencer Hobson, once called the best dressed man in the Suppression Bureau, prefers clothes tailored for him personally, not garments haphazardly collected from cupboards. Have new outfits made at tailors and sent on to you, or relocate items from your past. So no mixing and matching the ducky hat. Outfits have aspects which suit them for the right climate, or which provoke positive or negative reactions from NPCs. Don't wear a light outfit in the snow, don't wear a raffish outfit to speak to a ministry commissar, and don't wear your dressing gown to breakfast. Okay, don't wear it, but I mean, if we're eating in, we can wear a dressing gown. Most item outfits also provide small bonuses to skills. Unlike bonuses from active items, outfit bonuses are additive. They'll always apply on top of other bonuses. Spencer can, or perhaps will, only change his outfit in wardrobe areas, places where he can disrobe discreetly, and might keep a change of clothes. Any room where he sleeps will count. Spencer Hobson once called... Okay. the same. My outfits protect me, not from a bullet, but from subtler dangers. Like embarrassment or possession, glamour. My outfits exalt me and delight others. I change my clothes less frequently than I change my skin, more frequently than I change my mind. I think we'll roleplay-wise, we'll go with that one. Father's Day as well. Conservatively casual, unscrupulously unthreatening wardrobe. Can we... yeah, okay, so we know all that. If the toast alerts start to pile up, you can right-click to dismiss all alerts immediately. That's fun. Papers. SH. I think that says... Large manila envelope. This envelope is heavily creased. I stuff it down behind the seat cushion to ensure its contents weren't stolen while I napped. Right-click to read. Read or focus? Oh. A bulky manila envelope bulges an inside pocket. Time to open it. Retrieve the contents. 2 passports. Neither qualifies me as a citizen of the French state. My British passport in the name of Spencer Hobson is valid, though the place of birth is false. Keen British passport. While my pre-wars French passport in the name of Sylvain Houssier gives my place of birth accurately, but the France that issued it no longer exists, and the passport is long invalid. Gain Third Republic passport invalid. Traveling funds. Mostly Darwinist francisques plus a few incorporate dollars. Gain money. And a packet of Bonanza cigarettes. The dollars will be accepted everywhere in Western Europe. The cigarettes everywhere there's a black market. A single ministry is Dolia. And a razor blade. Useful things, razor blades. But the envelope could be useful. -1. Okay, so now we have pre-war passport. It's a real passport, but the government's changed the law and it might not be valid much longer. This can be active, so we're not losing it. That gives us Nictodromy and dignity. Wait, and these got added. Pre-war passport in the name of Monsieur Sylvain Houssier. My place of birth is given as Paris. That much is true as far as I know, but it's not a name I often use. It can be convenient to travel as a Frenchman, but I can't legally be a citizen of both Britain and France. So the passport is a forgery, and the Republic has issued new ones anyway, leaving it invalid. Everything's changed since the wars. Sylvain Houssier is the name I was christened under back in the Paris orphanage. It's the name on my old Third Republic passport. My real name, my old name, another name. Oh, I might save this one. Everyone calls me Spencer, but I wonder if it'll ever feel quite right. I've changed so much since those days. Interesting people always have more than one name. I might leave this one. One gives... Let's equip that. For the moment. And now we have these. Can I find out what... Okay, I don't think we can highlight those. Now we have razor blade. A safety razor blade in short supply since the wars. Noticeably useful for practitioners of the arts unconsidered, who often need to shed blood with a tool that has never tasted blood. This is consumable. Yeah, tools. Currency of the French state, named for the double-headed axe, which serves the state as its symbol. Work, family, homeland. So are we still in the immersive character creation part? Or more in the reading the UI part. I mean, it's kind of like character creation. I'm equipping stuff. The francisque, like the franc, trades at about 200 to the dollar. Not actually have that much. The corona-touched currency of the United States. Buttery smooth beneath the fingertips, faintly luminous even in darkness, much valued in the wilder hinterlands of Europe as a talisman of ontological stability. The new $5 bill is sometimes nailed above doors to invoke the protection of the one whose likeness it bears. Barkley, who is both president and incorporate. It's like Shadowrun, where the president was a dragon for a bit. Every other currency's value is expressed in terms of the dollar. Heaven bless America. And then Dolya, the official ministry's currency. More than that, the currency of the Great Exchange, the mutual bank guaranteed by the stars themselves. Utterly reliable incarnation of Icarian proud-onus mutualism, ontariologically perfect reflection of the labor, a means of exchange guaranteed not by gold or by silver, but by the fate synthesis of the shining fellow travelers from outside the sky, universally accepted in the Soviet sphere, utterly forbidden in the West. $1 will get you 4 dolai if you can find someone to make the exchange. This is sort of how I felt that when I was reading Sacred and Terrible Air, I felt this would be incomprehensible, the amount of like lore and vocabulary. It's like playing Disco Elysium without having encyclopedia or even just Kim to define things and explain things. Like, this book must be incomprehensible without like knowing what half these are, because it just drops half this terminology without explaining any of it. I cannot imagine reading that book without any background. Let us define currency. You read Sacred and Terrible Air? Yes, yes. I was gonna say, like, I guess that was like a year or two ago. I talked about it in, I think, one of my Slay the Princess streams. I spent the end of one of those streams giving my thoughts. In the West, legitimate merchants accept local currency, incorporate dollars, sometimes pound sterling. In the East, the only official medium of exchange is the dolya, the quasi-miraculous bill of exchange, valued in productive labor and guaranteed by the stars themselves. Using it in the West will get you arrested. Only 2 currencies are widely accepted on both sides of the line by everyone: Swiss francs and cigarettes. Black market traders on both sides of the line will also accept payment in dollars and sterling, sometimes other currencies if you're lucky. I'm conflicted if the esoteric natures part of the gameplay requires me to have a Merriam-Webster on the other tab. To be fair, not knowing half the lore is every Dark Souls. It's an interesting, like, question from, like, you need to be confident in your writing. You need to be confident in how interesting your world is, because, like, going into Disco very blind was, like, very important to the experience for me, and, like, figuring out the world. And you really need to strike the balance between just trying to find the right words, because, like, you don't want them to be you want them to be compelled to figure out but not be, and you want to allow them to be confused but also not let them get too lost. And it's always going to take a certain type of player. There are people I know that were just, like, completely turned off by the by the SO, like even disco, which I find eases you in much more gently than like this is, but games where have like this amount of lore. I mean, I am the kind of person that like does get invested very quickly and it is interested in figuring it out. And I don't mind if the story like starts out confusing and I have to take notes and have to pick it apart and like go back to it, and maybe at the end I won't totally figure it out and I can read a summary, but not till I like give it my best shot. For the time, so I'm accepting of the complete information overload, but I know it's not going to be for everyone. Okay, we've gone through inventory. Now we've... Oh, okay. Good journal. Good to have a journal. I'm happy to see this. Plans. What you hope to achieve and what your next step to achieve it. A guide to where to go and what to do. Circumstances. Not significant enough to be a plan, but not menacing enough to be a threat. Just things that have changed in the world that you want to know about. Threats. If you lose control of your mind or soul, if your body betrays you, if a worldly power imprisons or executes you, if these things happen, the game will end. The threat section shows what you need to worry about and what you need to worry. Associates. The most significant characters that you have met appeared here. Examine them to remind yourself who they are and how glad they'll be to see you. It is better to be both loved and feared. Better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. We're gonna save some of these. Oh my... We're playing Factorio now? This game has everything! Spencer was never really an adept, and the worms took much of his ability from him, but he can prepare tools to achieve a variety of supernatural effects and talents. Oh, I love this. As his unworldly skills increase, he'll be able to create more powerful tools. You can look through Spencer's recipes whenever you like, but to make something you'll need to find a crafting venue. Tell me about the worms. Don't think about worms. Don't think about worms. Don't. I'm free now. I'm free now. It's finished. Was it all bad? So bad always? Like that. Venue. Crafting station. Venues are hallowed, sinister, powerful, convenient locations where you can craft occult tools. Only a few unworldly skills can be used at each venue. Quickly learn which venues are most useful to you. I favor the bright arts, so that's holy places above all, but sometimes also quiet places, thresholds, and hearths. I favor the night art, so that's wounds and shadow places first, but sometimes also quiet places and thresholds. I'm interested in the dark arts. Dusk. I favor the arts and considered, so that's verdant places above all, but also sometimes shadow places, hearths, and thresholds. That is a very good cool tip. Okay. Seeing what has... Okay. Holy place, hearth. Forge. Goodbye. Or this one. Okay. Forge memory. Forge. Use a forge influence to subvert 2 lantern influences into a forge memory. Pragmatism collapses abstraction. By the way, I remember you played New Vegas. Are you excited for the new Obsidian Land Fallout game in development? Very much. Very much. Pragmatism. Okay, can I get this one to stay? Oh. You'll need an ingredient for each open input slot. It has to possess all the aspects below the slot. A flame icon means that the ingredient will be consumed as fuel. If there's no flame, it's a catalyst. Catalyst, and you can reuse it. You're skilled enough for this recipe, but only with ithistry in a hearth or holy place. Catalyst. Add ingredient with aspects influence forge. The recipe will not consume it. Lantern. Subvert. Okay. And these ones will consume it. All ingredients. You have catalyst, subvert, subvert. So I guess these are the ones we have, like, available. Okay. Perhaps I might not look at all of these, but these rules. But we can make awaken a wakeful eye, prickle $1 note bill as the incorporates would call it, in the correct pattern to awaken the eye in the pyramid. In lean time, use another sign of authority. Needs a lantern aspected memory and a bill or a substitute. Okay, so we do the bill there. Why are we... Okay, so we can use the eye in the pyramid. Knock memory. Use a knock influence to subvert any two influences into a knock memory. When we open a thing, then we learn its nature, but its nature changes. Knock is the wound at the center. Edge memory. Subvert two forge influences into an edge memory. What is shaped may be shattered, especially where battle has branded the skin of the world. Acknowledge necessity. Since the war, night arts practitioners rely on the assertions of the ministry's dolia. If I won't or can't, I can defiantly acknowledge necessity with a token of base metal backed by the older powers of night and bone, but it will rely on and add to that familiar half-cosmic dread. The question mark. And a bird song. With a rose memory as a catalyst, convert any two other influences to a random memory. The compass rose faces every direction from the circle's edge. Okay, well, we might leave this page for a moment. Oh, this is the good stuff. Travel the map. The map becomes relevant when Spencer is ready to leave Antibes. Travel from station to any adjoining city. If you have the relevant travel documents, be careful. Repeatedly traversing the same route will inflict traces. Keep a train clue. As traces accumulate, as my name gets around, I'm more likely to be recognized. Sometimes this might be good. I won't count on it being good. Spencer can gain traces from truthfully sharing personal information, interacting with the authorities, or simply staying in one place too long. Sleeping in the same place for one night is safe. Every night after that adds a trace. Traveling to a new city removes traces as long as you don't keep traveling the same route. About traveling here. Visit a travel zone at a station to move to a neighboring city. Things to bear in mind. Traveling is a good way to shed traces. Traces remain on the route you use, but fade as you travel further. To cross national frontiers, you'll need travel documents. Acquiring them is an important part of progressing the story. A few inaccessible seeming destinations can be reached by other means. Traveling's hard, but what if I'd never gone away? Traveling's hard. If I had a place to call, somewhere to call home. Starry abysms. Hive cluster. Some forest. See. We're in a map painter now. And oh my, we can click on all of them. Soon all of Europe will be open to you, as long as you can obtain all the right documents, but right now there's only one place you need to go. The United... Okay, we might not read all of this, right this moment. I kind of dig the BGM right now. I really like the title BGM. I think I forgot to mention it, but the new king gave his life a client in his battle against the enemy as no Englishman. Yeah, there's also enemy. No Englishman will fail to remind you, but the Plantagenet line continues under Queen Alexandra. What year is this? 1948? The new king's golden age is gone with the wars, but so is the febrile air that attended it. In the new quiet, there is the sense of waking from an eager dream, but Parliament still meets by candlelight. The murderous regime whose crimes broke the continent, whose weapons soured the sun, so much for their dreams of conquest and purification. Even the night is against them now. Oh, oops. Wait, and then there was even different flags. Great little resort town, oddly popular with adepts, and so we need at least one of these. Current traces. Was every... We can't click these. Oh my gosh. Assume these ones. We're not going as far as Portugal. Train tracks, non-train request, person of interest, reports of Daffer, blockade, sniggin event, Taylor, ministry, sphere of influence. It's like here. These crowns. Are all of these entry requirements? City light, they call it. Oh, Fahrenheit, 2 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a very strong start for a demo. Have we even started? Have we even started? 2 years, I know. Thank you, Fahrenheit. I'm so happy to see the little... I mean, I feel it's a bit hard for me to wrap my head around. Especially given what those 2 years contained. But I'm super appreciative given how inconsistent I've been. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All of these. I know there is a lot here. Well, these ones are clickable, and we should find out about. Onto work, family, homeland. When the French Third Republic fell, the Rump government in the south joined forces with the enemy, preserving a kind of independence as l'État français. As the enemies retreated, the state switched sides and joined the Allies. Where does this leave us now? With de Gaulle and Darlan rattling sabers across a new carved border between the Rump Fourth Republic and an authoritarian, para-fascist state. Those countries that fought with the enemy. Anything else? Corona. With the incorporates to unite their efforts, they might still have lost. Without the ministries to fight the hardest battles, they might still have lost. If they hadn't joined the powers, there would have been nothing left of the histories at all. We're in the French state, and there's also the... and then the... When the French Third Republic fell, the Rump government... Inevitable. The war's over, but war will never be. It'll pass like the First and Second and Third Republics. So much loss, so much more to lose. Admiral de France, chef d'etat, the undisputed ruler of a disputed state, though his anti-Icarian sympathies have won in corporate recognition for the state. Darlan's regime is still a hive of ex-collaborators, but Darlan has held elections banning Gaullist and Icarian candidates for security reasons. reluctantly allowing women to vote and reversing les statuts de juif. Even the most vigorous fascist hardliners are more hysterical now about revelers, tarasques, and the carapace cross. Another hybridity is known to not only be immoral, but actually contagious. It is unusual for me to say this, but this might be too many tooltips just for just the second. I was like, this demo, I was checking, like, sometimes with demos I check how long it is to make sure if I don't need to split it in two, for instance, and I saw like someone else did an hour and a half to 2 hours. I don't think... Did they read all these? A golden and novel principle which brings both visionary wisdom and material prosperity. The sun still glows and Corona is his latest blessing. The USA has always been a hotbed of Crucian heresy. This is some new permutation good. The blessing of the incorporates, everything gets better. Oh, it sounds like you're saying darling in a southern draw. I guess would it actually be like Donald? Although if you've read, maybe you don't need to go through all of this if you've played the other stuff. And hi Halim and played PH. Very cool to see Bucharest. Very curious about Bucharest. Very cool to see Romania represented. Let's take a look. I'm sure I mentioned in other stream. I did live in Bucharest for a little bit. Even the most Carapace Cross. The Carapace Cross has gone into earth, into flesh, and the traveling kinds. Beyond wave and sky, they are very few now under the earth, and crossed in flesh are us, some of us at least. The hybridity, which we call the Carapace Cross, was gone long and far. Their nature survived only in some bloodlines and perhaps in the darkness beyond the sky, but since the wars, the cross is creeping back. It might need crushing. The cross is growing. It might be wonderful. Everything's changing. It's inevitable. Oh, is Bucharest not a clickable one? The Armenian, so we need... The Armenian People's Republic is an Icarian state, but there are no star fragments here. Though King Michael's gone, the other Michael, the messenger, who writes in Invisible Blood, the dead guide for whom candles are lit, that Michael is seen every day in Cluj, in paintings, mirrors, chalk, a pair that walks has nothing to do with Gleam. This map has honestly made me hype more than anything. It showed up for like a few seconds in the trailer and I was like, oops. Alternate history Europe. Oh yeah, so we have like we have a map painting game. Oh, I guess we have Hearts of Iron. We have Factorio. I'm scared what's gonna happen in some of these other ones. Plague of Leaves. Footnote search. Subtle footnotes only appear in dialogue until you've viewed them and resolved any choices they offer you. Then they stop bothering you unless you actually search for them. This is our recommended approach. We don't want to patronize you or badger you with information you already know. But if you're really worried about missing a footnote, you can turn subtle footnotes off and they'll always appear in dialogue no matter how many times you viewed them. Subtlety. I don't like chatter. Certainty. I don't like to miss anything. I can take that one. Okay, so these are the ones I like haven't picked. Okay, that's good. But I have to search for them though. That's kind of... So if I like go... Yeah, there's Corona. I wouldn't mind like also just the list. That's good to have the ones like I didn't pick, like right here. I guess like, because you're like looking through all of these. You're like extra incentivized to really dig through and make sure you don't miss anything. Oh, that's just options. Okay. Now, sort of my question is there a detective vision? Do we actually get to play now? I mean, I'm fine to keep reading all these, but let's see. Almost an hour and a half. We will now proceed to walk. Okay, we can run. Double clicking is run. Like a face there. This guy has to be soaked standing on the rain for like an hour. This ain't about him. The station hall is almost deserted. Not so many visitors to the Riviera in these times. Heart's desire. Came to Antibes for a reason. Can't leave yet. Heart's desire question mark. I won't leave yet. Back into the rain. He's fine. There's a car. Long rattling road, and look at the poster for a second. Whatever that is. No refunds for the horizon. Horizon, the poster reads, and below in words for several languages, sun, sea, night, line, morning. Not ready for crafting? There's something more here. This is a crafting venue. Crafting is one of the more complicated parts of the game. I'll say, you might want to come back once you've played more of the tutorial and gathered some memories and influences. But it's up to you. I mean, I already saw the memory, but let's wait. High and perilous knowledge? Show me now. Crafting can wait. Check out the car. The headlights burn, the engine rumbles. We can make a subtle glance. Glance at the darkened windows. The driver turns his head, eyes steady under the gamma badge cap of the state milice, and meets my gaze for a moment. It's rarely rise to attract the attention of the milice. Pass on quickly. Probably to be expected. Long rattling road, but that one's not. Oh. In Book of Hours, you can soft lock yourself by using up all the crafting resources before you made enough headway to replace them. A long rattling road from Alexandria to Antibes, through the mountain forest and choking smoke, but here I am at last. I use a coffee, a bath, a shave, a cigarette. I want tea! I was on a train from Milan at dawn. Before the cafes opened, I could only afford third class, slatted seats and bellowing soldiers. I didn't get much sleep. This is something so is these actually gonna give something different, or is it just like... I mean, probably. Because, I mean, I'm just thinking, sometimes games do this to like split up the dialogue. They'll have like multiple choices, but they all kind of lead to the same thing, and it's meant to be like one singular thought. Welcome to traveling at night. That tiny choice will have a tiny consequence later. In a moment, another tiny choice. Antibes, before the war came to the world. The next choice acts with a passion. Choose a passion you possess to refresh pips in your aspect pool. You can choose a new one to start on your path to acquiring it. You can have up to 3 passions. But really, just pick the option that suits you. The game works best when you do that. Antibes, before the war came to the world, this was the sweet blue eyes of the Riviera. Yachts and parties and film star villas. Picasso painted his Pierrots here by the sea. Curiosity. So this is the one we have. Even before I went away. First time in a new city was always exciting. Compassion potential. And then the war. So many dead, deported, lost. Was in no position to help. Ambition potential. Years ripe with opportunity. I could have made my mark. We look... Okay, so we can't check the menu here. I am interested in compassion. Acted with passion, compassion. There's always someone else to save. We won't usually tell you explicitly which choices act with which passions. We let you roleplay or guess. The wars and their plagues took the glitter off those golden evenings, left the air dense and villainous. But I have to find Nina Lagasse. She's on the title screen, and her trail has brought me here. Journal, Heart's Desire. I followed Nina to the city of Antibes in the French state, the southern half of divided France. Actress, artist, witch, Nina casts a long shadow. Every adept on the continent knows her name. From the moment I woke in Alexandria, my heart clamored for me to find her. It would take me a while to understand why. A chilly soul, but she has no reputation for cruelty either. Nina is always careful. It's how she survived this long. It makes an impression, La Lagasse. Alexandria is where I came back to the world thanks to Stanislav and Serena and her clever protege, where I caught the midnight train along the coast when my heart demands became too urgent to ignore. Miss Alex. Salt air and spices, cane chairs and cotton, tram rattle, jazz, Arabic and Italian and Greek. Perhaps I'll go back someday. Hurts so much. Reincorporation is essentially impossible, Stanislav warned me. It was so unpleasant that I found myself wishing it was entirely impossible. I wished I said goodbye. Perhaps I'll see them again, though night tells me I never will. Father Stanislaw John Schaller, unorthodox but kind. I served as his assistant in the Great War when he was the exorcist in ordinary to the Dorsetshire Regiment. He recommended me to the bishop for my skill with sutler work, winning me the appointment of a parish priest in Brankrug, and he helped return me to the world. In 1919, the last year of the Great War, I left seminary and volunteered as a chaplain in the Dorsetshire Regiment, where Stanislaw trained me as an exorcist. The Great War. Is like the Exorcist... Is that also canon? I chose doctor, so like maybe all the choices canon in some way. They're all, and just like one of the jobs was the most important to us. The Great War, we really thought it was as bad as it would get. It took 20 years to learn how wrong we were. I'm not sorry I missed. Europe smashed, the haunted ruins, the war in the sun. The order of the hours had its flaws, but they upheld time, sense, and symmetry. Brankrug, the village in Brankrug Isle, which sits in the hollow of the Cornish coast like a pupil in the eye. Hush House stands there. I know that word. I know those. Well, I mean, I don't really know, but that's Book of Hours. I did read the Steam description once upon a time. Stands there, secret library, a hidden hospital, a sanctuary of peace and healing. I was a parish priest of Brankrug for almost 3 years. I didn't exactly lose my faith. A place of peace and healing near the Cornish village of Brankrug, one of the 7 great libraries of the Watchman's Tree. The name given to the 7 great libraries in the hidden world where the church and the duties tolerate otherwise forbidden knowledge. Perhaps the arrangement of the Watchman, although that sounds unlike him. Might come back to some of these. Miners in my congregation came filthy as worms from under the earth, but they were spotless every Sunday in church. The light in Cornwall is famous. When I saw a strange face, it was usually a painter. Not many young men left in Brankrug after the war. I miss him. Oh. Serena. Serena Blackwood, who was librarian of Hush House in the days when I served as a priest, but librarian these many years at the invisible Serapeum, shall return me to the world. The Serapeum is in Alexandria. It's even harder to find than it sounds, but I managed it. Serena Blackwood serves as its librarian. The Serapeum specializes in forge lore and horomachistry. Blackwood is the name of the renowned English writer of ghost stories, the title of a curiously entertaining Scottish literary magazine, and as Serena Blackwood, a widely used occult alias. Serena Blackwood, of course, is also the name of a former librarian who's been good to me. Coincidences cluster wherever the invisible arts are practiced. It's unlikely that any of these facts are related. Serena Blackwood surely can't be her original name, but I never asked. I didn't want to reopen any old wounds. The serenity of the Blackwood is an odd allegory about the vagabond leading travelers partway through the wood before she abandons them. That feels relevant. Where were we? Nina. My heart urges me to find her soon, but I don't always listen to my heart. Since I came back to the world, I've learned to listen to my heart. Listen to our heart. Gain influence Grail 1. Advice, look for Nina Lagasse. Wait until you find her. Why is less important than where. See, so that's footnotes. I just want to check, controls. Is there options? Quick save, quick load. That's good to have. Okay, Z. Just wanted to see. Submit, confirm choice, camera movement, focus on footnote, interact. Okay, just wanted to check if there's detective vision. Just in case. Hello. An optimist would say Europe's still healing. Others would say Europe's taking its time to die. Gain memory scar. Now if I go to one of the... Okay. So we have influence grail, heightened appetite, deepened sensation, memory scar. The wound is visible, the pain is not. What happens if I... Okay, so we can't, like... Heart's desire. Okay. Not sure I even remember what everything does. Well, moving around quickly, double click to run. If you click somewhere distant, events will break into a run anyway, perhaps from sheer enthusiasm or perhaps out of desperation. To know... Again, what's key? Library of Hours. Oh, okay, and we can also pan like this. Okay, so... You can also right-click and drag to pan, which is good. I think I prefer that to WASD. The rain's perked up these flyers at least. Gain memory scent. The rains only half erase the chalk. The bookshop owner must have relettered it just this morning. A determined soul. Okay, I'm assuming that arrow means we can go in. The Rue Racine is deserted. The rain, a curfew, or some nastier reason. Okay, there's... No, it's actually telling us. Ooh! Cute! No loading screen. A welcome warmth. I'm no longer chilly. Thing going on with these ones. Near one shelf in the corner of the shop, the crackling of the rain is less audible. Even my footsteps are softer. A sign on the shelf reads silence. Examine the books. And there's also Endcraft for practitioner of hushery or illumination. This place is an opportunity. So, Andre, you found my graveyard. Every book there was written by someone alive when the war began, dead when it ended. Above all, a physician. Run fingers over the semi-medical textbooks, stilling the heart. A red and white memory stirs. Gain memory, St. Theophrastus's Eve, Smithfield, 1921-1. The books in the graveyard are for display only, not for sale. That's annoying. Acted with passion, anger. The management regrets any inconvenience. Andrea disapproves and is now wary. Near one shelf in the corner of the shop, the crackling of the rain is less audible. Even my footsteps are softer. Oh yeah, so that's starting again. I guess I can't do that. Oh. This would bring us... Okay, crafting venues and skills. A clever practitioner might craft a midnight mark with nyctodromy. A subtle one might use hushery. A ruthless one, scolechosophy. I need to look up how to say that one in particular. For different approaches, you'll work in different places. Nyctodromy can be used at wound or threshold, but not at shadow places. But not wound, and so on. This is why you might find the most sinister adepts in graveyards, and the least fun ones at churches. The proper use of this somber sign silences restless spirits. Improper use can trouble the sleep and health of living humans. So we do have nyctodromy if we had the... And we do have... I don't know if I'll like actually do this, but like... Oh, but we don't... They're not the right... We don't have these things. Your skill muscles rescue, but only in a threshold or wounded place. Okay, okay. We're in the right place. Sturdy, nutritious literature layers glowering beneath a light topping of brightly colored novels about people failing in things, falling off things, or inventing cocktail mixing pianos. Saw this in 37, the year before I went away. The worms gave me what you might call an afternoon off, and I sat in the cinema, watching our heroes cross the border into Switzerland. That's when I started to plan my own escape. In memory, St. Agnes's Eve, 1937. Woman bites man, man dies, man fake death, snake bites woman, woman dies, man resurrects woman, a love story. That gave us Grail. Elegant ladies preen, elegant gentlemen cavort, more elegant ladies, some pulp, westerns, further elegant ladies, blood-drenched tales of Parisian crime, and one more particularly splendid lady with particularly splendid hair. The bookseller raises her gaze from the newspaper. She looks me up, then down, then up with careful interest. Good afternoon. You are looking for something? Andre approves and is now receptive. Is it good to ask for someone, a woman, near the Lagas? I regret, we sell only books here. We will tell the truth. It's important. I heard she come here, Tantives. This Nina, what does she look like? White as chalk, pale as pearl, or that's not important, but if you'd seen her, you'd remember her. No, I've seen no one like that. Is this your bookshop? Active with passion, curiosity, aspect pool recovered, one knock, one lantern. It is now. Now. Since the war, Skill checks. A choice with a skill icon needs a skill check. An invisible die is rolled. Asterisks added to your skill level and compared to the difficulty level of the check. The choice will give your basic chance of success. Hover your cursor for more details. Technically, it's an invisible token being drawn from an invisible bag. What's random? What's fair? If you roll a 10-sided die 100 times and get 1 every time, is that fair? You can roll a die 100 times and get the same result every time. So traveling doesn't use dice. It draws tokens, each numbered 1 to 10 from a bag. When the bag is empty, we put the tokens back in and shake the bag. There's more than one tile with each number, so you can get the same number a few times in the row. But your luck will always turn. Oh, interesting. Interesting. This means you reload. When you reload after save, we can always pull all the tokens back in and shake it. This means bluntly that you can save scum. You can change this in option. Oh my goodness. Incentivize save scumming? I mean, with this almost sort of like meta gods aspect, that makes sense. That's really interesting. And also the sort of doing a token aspect. When I read like the what's random, I was like, is this gonna be commentary on like how there's not really a random number generate, like how do you make an algorithm for random numbers? What's the formula for randomness, you know? How can you really make a true random generator? But the bags and you like taking the tokens out and leaving some back in so your luck can like change. Oh, I'll see you later, Helem. Have a lovely rest of your day at work. Then Fate said to Chance, "Let us play our old game again." And they played it again together, using the gods' pieces as they had played it off before. I believe Fate won. I reckon Chance won. Look, a butterfly. I'm sorry, Murmur Prayer. Sophistication. Difficulty 10. 0 in a skill halves the possible chance bonus. I don't think we'll try that. I'm sorry. Big compassion. Me also. Andre approves and is now very receptive. Do you have... No newspaper. Today's... Let's see if we can go back to that. Today's papers? The sheaf from today. An excellent state paper. Let's get a copy. Gain the sheaf. Let's try the 50. 0 elegance, 1 to 10, but we have a good opinion. 50-50. Failure. Acted with passion, whimsy. We will accept. Bonk. You've gained your first trouble. This happens. Life in post-wars Europe is awful. Fascination, dread, weariness, and pain are reduced by sleep. You'll find somewhere to sleep in until later. Prices will slowly creep up if you sleep in one place too long, but are reduced by traveling. If you let a trouble rise high enough, it'll start causing you problems. See the footnote for trouble you just gained. Mouse over the icons on your character portrait whenever you want to see how your troubles are affecting you. You can also see your trouble totals in your inventory. What is the inventory? Why the inventory? Because troubles can also occasionally be used in crafting. Failure has its consolations and its consequences. Consolations. Spencer gains more experiences from failure than from success. When Spencer fails, he gains a trouble. Items in the trouble section of the inventory are intangible things that you probably don't want. Weariness, pain, dread, and fascination. Or traces. There are ways to remove any trouble, but occasionally they can be useful. Fascination. The world grows thinner, the light brighter. It's dangerous to see too much of eternity. Wow. Not the jaunt. As fascination increases, Spencer will suffer penalties. At fascination 10, he'll lose his mind, ending the game. When Spencer rests, fascination and dread will cancel each other out, but anything left over may cause difficult dreams. Fear has its teeth in my hopes. As dread increases, suffer penalties. At dread 10, misery will overwhelm him, ending the game. Weariness. Sleep's mother, the heart's warning. As weariness increases, if it reaches 10, he'll lose 4 weariness and gain 4 pain. Wounds, illness, the other miseries of the body. As pain increases, Spencer will suffer penalties. At pain 10, he'll die. Voila! Blood in the belfry. Oh no. Pain dread 1. 1 dread, I'm growing uneasy. I must warn you, this is a bad book. A very bad book. I wrote 5 of these things. Pseudonymously. They sold much better than my real work. In fact, they merited French and German translations. I'd forgotten that the French and German publishers published them under the Hobson name. It's a little overwritten, I grant you, but the plotting is quite ingenious. Oh, you read it! My condolences. Firmly close my mouth. Did this change? Yes, you said. Any news? Only the rain. Okay, we'll leave for now, excuse me. If we can... maybe we can get more information, possibly? So I guess, like, all the... big room out here, and I'm chilly. Oh yeah, so here's these. Unease. 1 to 3 dread, this may not end well. Current dread 1. Current trace 1. Traces don't apply penalties, but starting at 7 there's risk of arrest. And then there's the chili. Okay. So yeah, I guess from this, like, all of the, like, backstories are canon. It's just, like, which is the one that's most important to you? Which is fun, because I was like, no, being a writer sounds fun. I like the idea of, like, choosing the most mundane option. Oh, there's caution. We go see what that's about. Look around. Actually, okay, we can go down. Okay, maybe we want to see what's down there. Let's check these giant things out, but let's look at the plants. Crafting material. Right on the border between autumn and spring. It must be exhausting to be a flower in this world now. Gained a memory. So much for public safety. Beyond the prosaic and ragged edge of earth, a gulf, blue descending to black. 0% lean over the edge. For observation. That's really high. 72%. Sniff. Success. Success. Take a moment to savor this first accomplishment, then look at the experiences you've received. They'll always match the skill you used, but every skill has 3 aspects, so we'll cycle through the aspects in turn. If you don't know or care what that means, don't worry. It'll all be in the footnotes later. Over the clean notes of the wind from under the world, there's a pungency. Carbide, bitumen, not quite either. For a moment, its shape wavers at the edge of my vision. Like a woman, if a woman could melt and smear in two Grail experiences. Step closer. Spencer, darling, we miss you. We're cold, we miss you. Oh, we miss you. You're gone from me now. Gain influence, knock one. No answer, the shape is gone. They remember, the night observes, they remember. Beyond a prosaic and ragged edge of earth, a gulf, blue descending into black. Uh-oh, we don't want more dread, but we'll be careful of that. Do more observations. Sweet scents do nothing to sweeten the mood of the woman sitting opposite. The welcome warmth, I'm no longer chilly. The heat strikes me like a friendly fist. I'm now perspiring. Oh, and there's more here. I think the music just changed as well. Do enjoy some sort of reactive music. Turn my face up to the sun, close my eyes. This sounds like it should be good. Lost Weariness 1. A moment of peace beneath the swaying leaves, then lost to the world. Lost dread, lost pain, lost weariness. Thank you. I was like, maybe the forest is also cursed and it's bad, but... Like picnics, the arts unconsidered, bosque birdsong preservation, do well out in the open air. Unlike picnics, they're safer as a solitary practice. But yeah, then this brings us to... I suppose we could like try crafting at one of the other ones. Let's do that quickly. This one is like the owl, right? So I should be able to do Nyctodramy. This is a wound and a door. Okay, so if I did this and like... So if I do this... Oh, gotta click. We have now... You've created something. Click to collect it. Any catalyst ingredients are also ready to be collected. Any fuel ingredients have been consumed. Crafting, tidying up. Every responsible practitioner knows not to invite unwanted influence. Before you start your next recipe, click the results of your last recipe to collect them. If you just close the crafting menu without collecting what you've made, it will go to your inventory anyway. We find it satisfying to appreciate the results of your work. Me too. Okay, so I made memory a stolen secret. Something overheard in dreams, or something that shouldn't really be in the wake. If it exists, and if you can see it while you're not asleep, then you're in the wake. Nice! Use up 2 things you don't understand to become 1 thing you don't understand. That really is how it feels. Oh, and we got the paper. It's fish. Oh, fish is perishable. With time and travel, good things become bad things. Sandwiches, souffle, flower arrangements. All perishable items will disappear when you travel. But... Are newspapers perishable in this world? I mean, I guess we'll collect a lot of them, for instance, but... Read. The sheaf, dated 2nd November, question mark? As so often now, the precise dates resist the eye. Flip through. Reading. Headline, a noose around Berlin. The ministries shackle the free necks of the West Berlin. With a merciless blockade, starving citizens implore heaven for help. The Allies answer, the mighty air forces of the incorporates and the state rain down bounteous plenty on the suffering citizenry. even the English and even the fiat secessionaries of the Republic have belatedly joined the effort, although they rely on the state and the incorporates to provide cargo, so feeble are their own economies. Gain influence edge. What's with the giant gaping maw? Good question. I went to it, and as Zero said, I used it as my crafting table, and I used up 2 things I don't understand to make another thing I don't understand. Thankfully, the state bears the burden of the war in the former colonial possessions of the poor lost France, ergo victories continue. The victories are noticeable for being A, numerous, and B, overwhelming. Read other news. A number of sheep and a smaller number of goats have returned triumphantly from the summer pastures and won local livestock competitions. Actually, that is very important. I hope there's a picture. The winning animals have been skillfully photographed from angles chosen to emphasize their noble ovine or caprine profiles. Can I see it? The writer notes that no Republican sheep or goats have won anything, although he doesn't specify whether this is just because Republican animals are effete or just ineligible. We shall put this very disappointing newspaper away because it is not the pictures. Okay, before we talk to her, let's go check out the other plants. Shelter from the sun, a bit grim out, I'm now chilly. Memory scent. Let's check out the big statue. To our dead, 1914 to 1919. Dark years and darkness hangs here like smoke. The first war that. I was a chaplain with the Dorsetshires, and in different times I'd never been attached so young. In memory on coils. Gain memory, St. Olios' Eve, Cambry, 1919. Gain dread. To our dead, 1914, 1919, yeah. Return to the sun. We talk to the nice... Well, I can't say nice old lady, who knows? I like this music. I like that it changes like that. What? You are the seigneur? I am Zelia. Do not ask my family's name. Madame Zelia disapproves and is now wary. I buried the heart. I have been waiting 400 francs for your travail. Zelia wants to know if I'm the seigneur she tried to summon. Oh, look at all these. Failed the vibe chat. Well, look at all these. Never apologize, never explain. Some characters are impatient, intolerant, unpredictable. Why's not? Don't say she's nice too fast. I know the old ladies in these games. They might make up their mind about you without ever even explaining what they're even talking about. Step carefully. Skill checks overlap, skills overlap, sophistication, hushery might both let you spot forged art. Oh, then I need both of those clearly. I need to be the art detective. Law, skin preservation are both relevant if you ever need to deliver a baby. So you might see a dialogue choice with 2 skills. With 2 skill icons. In this case, you'll automatically use the skill with the best chance of success. However, the choice for details about the other one. So do I know that word? We get 99 from the boss, it seems. We have a bit of dignity. We can also try that. I'll consider it. Smile enigmatically. Friend of mine, a southern woman, used to dance at the Dices Club in London. When her heart was broken, she set out to revenge herself. She told me that she had buried a songbird's heart at the dark of the moon to call for the red help she wanted. Gained 2 grail experiences. She had owned that songbird almost a year. I recall that she had to crush its throat and cut its heart out with a pocket knife to prove her conviction, or perhaps only because the one she called was one she... Or perhaps only because the one she called was one who liked that kind of thing. Right of a pet? Did you take its life with your own hands? Of course. I did not enjoy it. We will speak of it no more. Oh. Some characters are impatient, tolerant, and unpredictable. 3 is a lesson everyone learns in the service industry. Oh no. Lesson everyone in the service industry learns day 1. Oh dear. This will twist your soul. We have 100%, why not? But let's... Can we ask about the whole... Well, she might just like decide she doesn't like us anyway. We showed our occult knowledge. Which we might like lose some of that if we don't know what the holes are. Let's just go in. Good. Now she approves. There's a cafe on the square near the fountain and the flag. Every day she goes there. Ilomile. Blight her, punish her. Consider the nature of curses. You could use a wither item to this end. If you could bring this Ilomile nightmares and bad fortune, sicken and immiserate her. It wouldn't kill her unless she's very weak, but it wouldn't be very nice. That said, you're not in the suppression bureau anymore. You need to find Nina. You could use the money. And it might be possible to convince that you've cursed her enemy, even if you haven't. I don't know if we have like the... I don't know if we have like the skill to pull that off unless we... I mean, the lying nature, but maybe the occult nature we can work with. Let's ask why. That is not your concern. She is unpardonable, a traitor, defiler of husbands, moral filth. But that is not your concern. This is too cruel. I mean, I kind of want to... I did choose, like... I did want to go into compassion. Let's ask and then... I mean, we can say yes. I do kind of want to do somebody a little bit edgy. I know the name. We can discuss that after when our business is done. It will be done. I could fulfill it or try to deceive her. Create something sinister. A plan in the journal hints on how to do this. Yes, it is a pact now. Our pact. He approves and is now receptive. I give you now 1/2 of the sum we agreed. The rest on your turn. Go quickly. But the money? Make her suffer. Why did I call you a nice old lady? I have the skills to create a withering item, if I want. So now, if we go to journal, create a wither item with an unworldly art and find an opportunity to taint her food or drink, or just speak, then return and pretend as you did as she asked. You might just do that. These are our... Right, and here's our troubles. I mean, we don't really know about this person. I'm gonna assume... I'm leaning towards... She might be okay. Oh. But... Okay, where am I going? Alright, and there's somebody we don't want to, like, be up here. Doggy. You can just accept it's a deserving victim. Let's investigate. Let's investigate. A Felix. No parking sign directly between two parked cars. Donald's grip is not irresistible. Got some moth for that. Oh, maybe we can steal money out of little pond or the fountain place. Silver surface, winking sun. Look around here. Steep and sunny. Neum over here. Bright water in the Riviera sun. There's Plashery afoot. Okay, I'm assuming. Oh. On the other thing, let's go to character again. So we experiences. Okay. You can evolve an empty passion into any passion you've recently acted as long as you have enough of the right experiences. You can evolve existing passions too, but only when appropriate. Anger can evolve into honor or ambition, but not compassion or whimsy. Evolving a passion levels it up, and passions can't go above 9, so you can't evolve any passion once it's reached the max. But by the time all 3 passions are at 9, you'll have a very clear idea on who your Spencer is. Interesting. Okay. Like, yeah, let's take a look at what these are now. We'll reject whimsy. We can evolve our curiosity into whimsy. We can reject anger. I don't want anger. I have a feeling we're not gonna get that many points in just the demo, though. Okay, caution. I'm gonna avoid there. Give. She. Okay. Enter. Please. There we go. Oh, cute. Probably can't just barge in there. Okay, so this is... I didn't want to jump right into this. I wanted to look around first. Should I do Zelly's dirty work? This is my chance. Should I wish to do it? This is my chance. Or perhaps I could just convince her that I had. What does she know about curses anyway? Leopold. Here comes the authorities. Look sharp. Our carrots are cooked now. He disapproves and is now wary. Bastide. What should we call you, Monsieur the Authorities? What alias are you using today to terrorize the innocent working men of Antibes? Call me Midnight Joe. Acted with passion, whimsy. One of them approves and is now receptive. You need to work on your accent, Midnight Joe. I know. I apologize, sir, for those guys. If they had better manners, they'd introduce themselves. She approves and is now receptive. Aristide is the noisy one. I dare not contradict Madame la Marquise. Leopold is our painter, and our nihilist. This song again. Ignore the Duchess. I'm a realist. At worst, an existentialist. Jean Bernard is our poet. I'm a poor excuse for a poet, at best, sir. I will smile. He approves of the smile. But an adequate mechanic. And I am... Philomel? A duchess, I hear, or a marchioness? I do what I can to raise the tone, but one cannot empty the sea with a spoon. And she calls me a nihilist. I'd say it's more like pissing in a violin. But that's because I lack manners. My friend's pronunciation is one. It was never. It's never been my strong point. I will try. I will watch videos, but I really struggle with certain sounds. Let's come back. And see what we can examine around here. What? This is the worst photograph ever taken by a human being. It could be a boat, it could be a pig, it could be the inside of a pig, it could be the inside of a pig inside a boat. It could, in fact, be a photograph taken not by a human at all, but by a pig, perhaps from inside another pig. Boom boom! One eye widens to gleaming watchfulness. I mean, the alternative... I'm trying with the French. The alternative is to not try at all. And I'd rather try. Rabbit's chin. An ear flicks lazily. We knew. The animal is essentially inert, monsieur. Expect nothing of him. Lino approves and is now receptive. Withdraw. Monsieur? You'll have something. What do you have here? White, red, pastis, chamomile. Or I can have some bottles left of that incorporate drink. Consider ordering something. White, red, we have a bunch of these. Corporate drink. Oh, did I say? I know with Marquis. Oh, did I say Marquise? Ugh. Sometimes I do just read it too fast, and I know I was messing up with Deniswab earlier. She might... 2 orders per visit, Coca-Cola. I don't even remember how much money we have. That's one thing I think I like from Disco Elysium. You could see our money, but that might not be, like, very doable when there's a whole bunch of... whole bunch of currencies. And we will see you later, perhaps. Step back from the bar. Looking at this map, when I was playing the Thaumaturge, which is set in Poland, I had a pronunciation guide up for the entire time, and I still screwed up quite a lot. But I found the important thing I want to try, rather than just go, it's too hard and I'm gonna pronounce it like a Western way. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of places. The door to the kitchen, a sign reads private. If I want in, I'll have to wait until the proprietress is distracted. Next time she bends below the bar, perhaps. Obscure, wait for... So this one is Nyctodromy. Wait, employ little magic or transgression to enter the kitchen. That's cool! This one's 0%. Why is it grayed out? I have to wait. Step away. Do we know? Why was it grayed out though? I'm not sure I know. Before we try this, there's another place we can enter, so let's do that quickly. Hello. Oh, this is a clothing shop. I bet if we look in the mirror, I'm gonna lose something, but the mirror shows a completely different room. A larger shop in the late evening or early twilight. My old premises in Paris, the last summer I was here. The mirror is useless for any practical purpose, but it's difficult now to find a working mirror. It'll help me remember when my wits finally fail me. Oh, you may have spent all your actions or something. I can imagine. Acted with passion, cynicism. Gaiety. Winter. Elegance. Tweed grey eyes, steady behind the spectacled lenses. Come in, welcome. A very long look. You remind me, monsieur, of a man I knew long ago, before the wars. Good to see you again? Well, everything is long ago since the wars. Adroitly expressed, monsieur. I met a man in Venice who once liked to say that the past was a foreign country. If everything is long ago, everything is foreign, even the country of my birth now. You're born in the Republic, you mean? You are a stranger in the state? I never mix business with politics. A rule of long standing. Very useful this last decade. Now, shall we do business? What'd you have? That's a... Oh, it's a two-sided one. Since the wars, cash is king, barter is queen, and the black market is the power behind the throne. Every merchant prefers to be paid in their local currency, and only pay out in that currency, but they'll grudgingly accept a range of others. Legitimate state merchants, like Janvier, for instance, there's probably Janvier, prefer the francisque, but will usually accept dollars, sterling, or Swiss francs. Harder currencies like the dollar are more widely accepted, but local politics are important. The state won't accept republic money, and dollars are unwelcome in the ministry's territory. But if you can find a black market merchants, they'll often take all kinds of currencies, even cigarettes. Okay, so here's our, let's see, our wallet. Pound sterling. Proud but ailing currency of the proud but failing empire, not as widely accepted as incorporate dollars or Swiss francs, but better than francisques or Ostmarks. Swiss franc, everyone in Europe knows the unimpeachable value of their currency. Even on the eastern side of the Iron Curtain, even legitimate businesses will quietly accept payment in francs. It is odd that the ministries permit the use of gold-backed currency in their mutualist paradise, but there's been something opaque happening in Switzerland ever since the Alps grew colder. 1 Swiss franc is worth about $1. Hey, wet, oh my goodness. So we have a bit of money. Father's Day is sold out. This will disappear when you travel to another city. Don't hesitate to use it before then. So this, okay, and this is a -1. Are all these also have a minus? This one, oh, these are the razor blades, but these are like perishables. Well, I'm never gonna have like good stagecraft anyway. I think that's one of the like first tools we'll leave for now, but There's gonna be some, like, stats. You can't excel at everything. Stayed nameless. Let's talk to him. Monsieur Janvier, the streets of Antibes are wounded. There are cold abysses of silver darkness. Yes, I often pass them on my constitutional work. Janvier, say to myself, these are bad times. I'd never expected to outlive any city that I called home. Then I reflect on the last round of bad times, times before that, and the times before. So I shrug. I complete my constitutional. I'm not a repairer of abysses, but only of garments. You don't wonder why they're there? I assume they are expressions of fundamental incompatibility between distinct modes of being. Note their locations on the border between two versions of Antibes. Oh, when I first came in, you said that I reminded you of someone you knew long ago. I believe I said exactly that, yes. Is there something to discuss? Not really, just thinking aloud. I understand. A little peculiar, it occurs to me that one thinks aloud, but that one speaks to oneself. Not speak silently? No? You're a philosopher. He approves. A philosopher? In the state? No, that would not be at all suitable. Excuse me. I mean, it's just the demo. I can probably do whatever I want, but... Okay, let us... get in here. See what we can do in here. We talk? Of course, please join us. I guess you're not come empty-handed. Well, Leopold likes his aphorisms, like any good nihilist. I'm not a nihilist. You're not nearly as funny as you think you are, Aristide. Who is, my friend? Who is? But listen, Midnight, I prefer this one. Glass in the nose and the tongue loosens. Rack brains for clever aphorism. Do not have that. You'll speak more freely if I top you up with wine? Put it bluntly, yes. Let's consider buying drinks for the four of them. If I craft a bewitched item before I go back to the bar, I could definitely make their drinks loosen their tongues. I mean, let's find out what happens. Journal, creating something beguiling. Alright, the patron knows what you want. They knows everything. Okay, so let's check our journal. Create something beguiling. To advance another plan, I could use an item that has the bewitch aspect, a witch is not would be perfect. I'll need two things, an influence with the grail aspect and something to shed my blood. Bosk 5, create something sinister. Midnight Mark, Heart's Desire, Buried Heart. I mean, it might be best just to, like, do this regularly. I just want to speak. Monsieur, let's... okay, here's the actual one. A round of drinks for my new friends over there. Don't forget to overcharge him, Linu. Red for Philomel, Leopold. How much is this? 100. Okay. For this one's best if you pay in advance. pay and watch. And something for monsieur? Linu adds a drink to the tray and turns away. An opportunity? Is there anything I might want to do with the drinks before I take them over? Nothing more to do here. I just take the drinks back over to the poet, the painter, and whatever the other two are. What's this? Your prince! How spontaneous of you. Lift the glass of water that Linu added to the tray for me. I thought it might be hot chocolate or something. Eyes in the eyes. A general clinking of glasses. Keep my eyes on the floor. I don't want anyone to remember— oh. They all disapprove. Oops. I was trying to roleplay for a minute. I don't want anyone to remember my face better than they have to. Now they're all wary. But because of the negative opinion, these aren't really our strengths anyway. Eloquence. I like to have eloquence game of cards. What's everyone talking about? The world! Not the world entire, but what has occurred? Perhaps you have noticed, Mitzi, that the world is different since the war? Yes, it has holes in it, for instance. Tell me of the holes. Gain memory, fear. Leopold chuckles dryly. Precisely. To name only a single consequence, but a consequence of what? That is what we discuss. Me, it is clear. The weapons unleashed by the enemy, and against the enemy, by the Allies, were too terrible. They cracked Europe like the shell of an egg. Stamps his foot for emphasis. I don't know if this will pick up. I don't think I can do that. Now the cracks spread. The egg leaks until the shell is empty. But to my friends, somehow it is not so clear. Maybe something beautiful will be born. What do you think? The church teaches that the sun has many natures, and the esoterics teach that the world has other natures necessary to sustain its existence. The war in the sun is not only a figure of speech. The natures warred, many dies, and now Europe dies with them. Philomel, you should know, is a journalist. She writes articles in magazines for readers less intelligent than she. Horoscopes, tripe of that nature. Over the years, it has infected her with mysticism. Philomel sips her wine, smiling very slightly. Leopold? Impossible ever to say. Our understanding lies buried beneath ignorance, beneath the gravestone of knowledge, raised by science and art. In other words, we have passed a point of no return. We cannot know what has happened to our world. To discuss the matter will only expand our ignorance until we grope like apes in the dark. Okay, it seems like everyone is aware of the scars, it seems. That's sort of bit— I mean, from the zero knowledge, but the fact that the other two games, like, sort of exist, kind of got the sense like magic is just— or the occult, the supernatural is just part of the everyday. But you don't seem to believe. Nihilist. Do apes, that is, I think apes have better night visions than we do? You see, my point exactly. We get more ignorant each time we open our mouths. Jean Bernard? The stars. The things in Russia, I mean. The ones behind the ministries. Everything changed when they came. I was an Icarian. I still am, I suppose. I think it might get better. But I think before then, it will get much worse. Icarianism, the preeminent form of socialism in the 20th century based on the common ownership of the resources of creation. From the dream of a European radical to an efflorescence of utopian communities and revolutionary movements, to the system on which the ministries founded their power. First right, to live, to each following his needs. It has a certain appeal. To work, from each following his strengths. I found it inspiring sometimes. I generally prefer to rely on my own efforts. So if we hadn't had the war, it would be just as bad. The plagues, the bloodied sun. It might have taken longer. We were never blind to stones, but we cannot see the earth. That's one of his. No one knows what it means. I liked it though. An awkward shrug. He approves and is now receptive. Okay, they all approve. We brought it back. Well, those two. The important ones. I think... Why is Leopold the only one without an ellipses? I think we should... The nihilist has a point. The stars are wrong. It's not a question anyone can ever answer. Let's agree with her and see if we can make it more receptive. Why do I have the sense, sir, that you understand these matters better than I do? He approves now very receptive. He disapproves now very wary. Place a finger to my lips as if touching them by accident. Smile. Very slightly. Acted with passion, ambition. Sorrow. He approves and is now appreciative. I think that went pretty well. Let's botch it. Philomel, do you know a woman named Zelia? Zelia Bada? She sits in the park on the bright side, complains about modern morals, throws rocks at pigeons. That's her? Poor old creature. The Badats used to be very grand, you know, but there were confiscations, you know, and then they shot her husband. She never really recovered. I think her mind is going. Spiders in the attic, you know. Gain memories, stolen secret. Why do you ask? I mean, do we trust her? I guess we can start with this and maybe reveal all afterwards. She mentioned your name. She really doesn't like you. Honor. I know her a little. We used to see each other at church. I felt sorry for her, but she never really approved of me anyway. I don't think she likes people feeling sorry for her. She sighs, strains at her shoulders, clearly wants to change the subject. Okay, so that sort of like lost it. Maybe we should have revealed all. Game of cards? What's the game? Chemin de Fer Railway, you know it? Like Baccarat? Not really. Oh, don't worry, you'll pick it up as you go. He grins. Fill me in. Well then, this is Monaco. The Savoie is our very own, Mel's very own slipper. At his steed waves a black velvet court shoe. Philomel languidly wiggles the bare toes of her left foot. Advice, relax. You don't need to understand chemin de fer or baccarat. All you need to know is that players take turns as the banker, and the banker sets the limit on bets. So pick a big limit, impress the enthusiasts. Perhaps lose all your money if you don't have the skills, or pick a small limit and ride quietly along. These rapscallions are drawing cards out of a woman's shoe and playing for small stakes. You're not going to lose your shirt, or whatever other outfit you're wearing. It's your turn as the bank. What's the limit? Be valiant. Let's be cautious. Gambling. What 0 is 5? They'll approve. Look at these zeros. So this one is observation, and stagecraft. Let cards fall where they may, and 1 in 5 chance of winning. A throw of the dice will never abolish chance. You know, Midsi, in this town we call them cards. Hush, he's quoting Mazarin. No, no, it's Malame. Never mind the salon nonsense. Shut up and draw. Winning hand, a natural. We got 5. Oh. Why not? Not for me. Keep the cards. I feel like we lost that option by not. I thought maybe we'd be able to like be tentative and then reveal all, but I guess not. So maybe we have to. Let's back out for a second and just make sure. Easy. Okay, so we might have to do something, but let's ask about Nina. Anyone? No, sorry, Mitzi. Sorry, Mitzi, it's beyond us what you're talking about. One of them likes you enough, perhaps they'll open up. Except Alistede. If Alistede knew anything, he'd have already blurted it out. So... maybe let's... might do the beguiling. Wait, creating something beguiling. So I think I lost out on that option by not doing that. Try to deceive her, or we could just do that. Pretend is, though maybe we lost that because of the pretend. But we can do the, which is not. I'll need influence, something sharp. Grail aspect. We have this, and we have a razor, and something sharp. Crafted a verdant place. Okay, let's try the beguiling thing. Wait, more things. I only half understand. I'll go to these stairs. Hi, doggy. Coming for crafting? You can be my companion. I don't think we have like the lying skills to pull it off straight up. Let's... so we were... which is not... how do I... what are these? Moth memory, Rep Bosk. Again, is this influence with a grail aspect and something sharp, a razor blade. It can craft at a verdant place. Also with a Bosk. Boss 5 at a shadow place. A witch aspect. Oh wait, here it is. We need the catalyst and we'll do this. Oh, but Bosk in a shadowed place or verdant place, isn't that... oh, do we have to be at like one of these? Oh gosh, okay, figuring it out. I thought it was verdant place. Okay, Bosk and preservation. Bosque in a shadow place or verdant place, or preservation hearth or verdant place. So is this not a... what is... it's not a verdant place? Which part am I not understanding? Verdant place also Bosque 5 a shadow place, birdsong shelled preservation a hearth. I like have these, right? Is this not? We can try one of the other places. Okay, so our other options are... I can't remember what all are crafting. There's like the poster at the... there's some different posters. Oh, we can't do this. Interesting. So this one is... I need to remember which places are which. Okay, that's Wounded Place. And so this does say what place it is. See, isn't this Verdant Place? Oh, but now it's highlighted. Okay, so I assume that was a bug. Okay, let us... finishing a plan gives a choice of experiences. Collect them by clicking the plan, which you'll find under the finished column. That in the... okay, can green... Rose, Heart, or Grail. Choose the experience that you'll find most useful, or the one which best expresses your attitude towards these events, or the prettiest color. So again we have, what's this one again? Rose. Let's do Rose. In one rose. Okay, let's go back and spend another... 100 currencies. At the beginning of the game, when I booted up, there was different options for how much data you'll allow them to collect for choices and bugs, but I think I'll double check to make my VOD to make sure it's doing anything wrong there, but then it might have to submit that in particular. Actually, hold on, do I have to equip it somehow? I think there was the choice. It was just part of the choices, but we might have to do that. Thank you so much for hanging out, Dan. Have a lovely night. Oh, actually, want to do... We will go through here. Another round of drinks. Back with the drinks, okay. We'll do it through here. Round of drinks for my new friends over there. Go ahead. Bewitching tool. Touch their drinks with a giddy influence to ensure they speak freely. Can I not use item? I have to click it there. Use witches not bewitch. Acted with passion, cynicism. The work of moments to brush a little bewitchment around the rims of the glasses. Is there anything I might want to do with the drinks before I take them? Nothing more? Okay, we continue. Eyes in the eyes. Look each of them in the eye. We'll do that this time. Okay, that gave us a trace, but I assumed. Alstede Mary, Leopold Wary, Jean-Bernard Wistful, Philomel Rye. I added something to their drinks. Watch and wait to see the effects. Philomel laughing into Jean-Bernard's shoulder, her hair coming loose. Alstede examining the bowl of his pipe for informers. Leopold fascinated by the moss which flutter into sips from his glass. Jean-Bernard doggedly carving a quatrain into the flank of a candle. And me watching. They approved and they're appreciative. Remain a smiling, distant presence. The wild mood passes, the moss depart, but they'll always remember something enchanted about the evening. Now, can we ask? I will share a secret. Andre, at the Libre d'Or, sells things other than books. Andre make compliments. Perhaps she can help you find your friend. Friend? Whichever that is that Nina Lagasse to you. I'm glad not to be involved with this business. Go carefully. Thank you. Your conversation back to other matters. Jean Menard tells a story about Citronne brought in for repair that he thinks might actually be haunted. Philomel examines her reflection. Alstede accuses Leopold of stealing his pipe until he finds he's sitting on it. We do have 70. Adapt myself to the conversation. Smile when it's suitable. Frown and tisk when it's not. And when an in-joke surfaces, make a note of it. Should we try the... What's 70%? Success! Gain 2 Grail experiences. They begin to relax around me, although Leopold remains watchful. Approves. Okay, so that just... Okay. That also just approves a lot of things. Okay, till next time. I wonder, before we do that, let's just, I want to see if we can talk to... Talk to our quest giver here. To see what the options are. What? Have you dealt with that? That sow, Corneline? They welcome warmth, I'm no longer chilly. Yeah, you wanted me to punish Philomel, but you said Corneline just now. I know what I said. Don't confuse me. She's just as bad anyway. Oh. So, have you dealt with? I mean, it's over 50. Failure? Okay, we can rescue. Let's... Oh. I don't believe you. What happened with that rescue? Not sure I understood exactly that mechanic, but either way. Well, we have the information. Some of these games, sometimes it's hard when you don't know like what's a choice you can't go back to or what's like a permanent thing. Anyway, we got this piece of information. Maybe this will lead us somewhere. Built by Aiden, you had 3 pips to allocate. I was wondering if it was something like that, but I wasn't quite sure. Philomel sends her compliments and suggests I talk to you about your quieter business. A relic of a gentler world, or Philomel, give her my best. Yes, I do also deal in quieter businesses than books. What did you have in mind? Information. We spoke earlier about a woman named Nina Lagasse. Well then, I didn't tell you everything before. Just a week ago, she was standing where you are now, asking her own questions. She wasn't as friendly, though. What questions? She was looking for a book. If it's not impolite to ask which book. He approves. Ribero Gaillon. Treatise on Oenology. A very technical book on wine. I had exactly 1 copy. Do you know where she went? Fortunately, in my line of work, it pays to show an interest in the comings and goings of strangers. Andre smiles winningly. That seems reasonable. Nina Lagasse was entering the Sanitarium aujourd'hui in Cap d'Antibes, just past the park. News trail leads to the Sanitarium aujourd'hui, just outside Antibes. We said, you should be careful. The residents of the sanitarium are not like the rest of us. Miss Lagasse, she's nothing at all like the rest of us. Mademoiselle, I am invariably careful. I should follow her to the sanitarium then, thank you. I guess the question is where... well, we didn't check, like, above... I was, like, trying to avoid this caution person. Sanitarium... Let's go up and around, just see what's up here. We can look here, let's gain that. Okay, that's another building that looks possible. Do some examination. Dark shapes move beneath the surface, more like spreading stains than fish. Them. Something undefined about the shapes. Are they moving, drifting? They never quite resolve. An acrid odor wafts from the water. Something seeping through. Everywhere it leaks now. The bureau must be overwhelmed. Or dread is enough to take me from an unease to despondency. Oops. Because I remember, like, early playing Disco Elysium, I was, like, scared to, like... There's a lot I was scared to ask, and then, like, chat reassured me it's not actually... You can talk a lot. They've kept this Cicatrix under control, but it doesn't look as if it's getting any better. Likely it discolors the wallpaper inside. Residents often develop sympathetic marks of their own. Oh. Church. Hello. The priest blinks slowly as if struggling to focus. Light perpetuals shine upon you. Did you wish to... Wait, let me see. Is it you? Father Jaume approves and is now receptive. Ooh. What does that mean? Father Jaume approves and is now very receptive. Saint Reparata said I would have a visitor. Is it you? All of spirit and brazen of heart, she said, and that you would open her eyes. The priest turns to gesture at the stained glass window behind the altar. Her name, you see, is Reparata. But not only her name, mine is Jaume, and that is all the name I own. Father Jaume asks for my assistance in opening the eyes of Saint Reparata. I don't really know what you want. But I don't want anything. It's the saint. She can't see, and at last you're here to help her. Jaume doesn't smile, but his eyes crinkle as if he might. Father Jaume, are you quite well? Well, no, not for some time now. Thank you for asking. Jaume shifts from foot to foot like a rain cloud buffeted by wind. Well, but we can also look at the Book of Suns, the Church's holiest text. The name itself is a reminder that the sun is divided yet indivisible, constant yet ever-changing. I think we should not read these. Let's look at the other... A curious incident. A wounded greyhound wrestles with serpent's eyes of blazing. A curious incident in the dog in the nighttime. Remember the story. In the province of 700 years away, a nobleman leaves a greyhound to protect his infant heir. On return, the child is absent and the greyhound's jaws are stained with blood. In a rage and terror, the father kills the dog. Then they hear the child's cry and find it under the cradle, along with the monstrous serpent that Guinefort has slain. Too many 10%. -3 to all skill checks. That's not helping. Can I find some sort of peace in here? And the shadowless light of the sun-crossed chandelier above, the perpetual fire of the unconquered sun, the underwater glow of the stained glass windows, all that make the altar bright. This is the altar I once served. It still means something, but now it means something different. Lost dread, there we go, down to 3 dread. 1 fascination, chrysophoria, the first stage of a kind of delirium. The shadowless light of the sun-crossed chandelier. Okay. Okay, well that should help some of the skill checks. A woman in blue, martyr's palm, saint's halo, dark eyes, sea beneath stars, crossed needles behind her head, a necklace of pearls. This one is observation. Okay. Martyr's palm, saint's halo. I remember her martyrdom. She was burned and beheaded. Somewhere in there, she was forced to drink boiling pitch. Then her body was set adrift on the sea until it washed up on the coast somewhere. Fair moment to think about that, even though it might be bad. Poor girl. Acted with passion, compassion. Oh. A woman in blue, martyr's palm, saint's halo. Yeah. Blue garment, starry sea. Which is the patron saint of the city and of fishermen. Saints collect patrocinia in much the same way that magpies collect trinkets. Appetite, a woman in blue. Okay. Her eyes, are they open? Yes, just 2 blots of black lead in milky glass with the careful innocent vagueness of every iconographic virgin. The eyes of the saint. She said you would open her eyes, but the saint's eyes in the window are open. What did Jaume mean? Choose carefully. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. If you use occult tools carelessly at random, you often make matters worse. Before you begin, make sure you know what you're dealing with. I have the skills to create a hallow or unveil item, which could be useful here. Something to think about. The plan in the journal hints how to do this. Let's talk to Jaume again before we try anything, because we do have the, like, debuffs. I don't know how to heal them again. Besides maybe a drink. We have Expel. Even if it's at, like, 70. True as far as it goes. Jaume was ordained at Plymouth Cathedral 30 years ago now. Oh, I should have known. Forgive me, my friend. Honestly, I couldn't say whether or not I'm still bureaucratically a priest. I moved on before the process was complete. For all I know, the Vatican lost the paperwork. But either way, the mark remains. Don't be silly. You said I would open her eyes. The window, the saint, or... Oh, yes, yes. Melancholy, friendly crinkle of the eyes. 0. I've gathered enough information, which I don't think I have. Renounce plan. Okay, that's interesting. We can reject it. The eyes of the saint in the window are open. Oh, in an iconographic sense, yes. Saint Reparata was always depicted with open eyes. She watched everything they did to her, the poor thing. But the saint's eyes were open. We'll see it in the glass. She wishes only to see. You called me hollow of spirit and brazen of heart. What did that mean? Yes, an absence. Then you found a presence, no? Not to fill up your emptiness entirely, but a union. The saint will bless it. Remain silent. Let's see if it, like, buffed the other things. I guess one thing I haven't really done is, like, quick save. We could try the save scumming option. Um, 72. We could use item. Doesn't seem to do anything though. Success. The words echo, circling the vaulted ceiling like carrion birds. The echoes intensify, the roof trembles beneath the sun. Is that thunder? It does thunder when it's raining. That's not unusual. Red weariness. 2 weariness is enough to make me languorous. Not just thunder, gloats in the night. You've insulted the power that dwells here. Father Jaume's voice is low and fearful. Sometimes I fear the saint. Yeah, that wasn't great. But that's what safe scumming is for. We're just learning information. I think we need to try... Well, also, where is this sanitarium? Is there any sort of... Eyes of the Saint, Buried Heart. Getting something holy. So then I might actually... Just outside. I might actually have to finish up. Let's just see. But it is still a car. Let's check. I mean, let's get a... I haven't gone like all the way over here. Zero, no worries. What a lovely night. Gonna see. What happens if I... Oh! Big sign! Sanitarium aujourd'hui. Okay, so we'll do this and then we'll finish up. I'll do whatever this leads me to. Coronal grace whispers from the zone, and corporate has marked this place. Plants. A brilliant spray of vivid red. Check the cars. An unfamiliar model of Peugeot, unscrupulously clean and empty as a showroom model. One of the staff little Citroens one sees everywhere now. In the back seat, an umbrella with a striking black-white plaid pattern. A stately gleaming one. The bureau used this model back before the war. A fine lambswool scarf lies crumpled in the passenger seat. Okay, obviously important place if there's a loading screen in between. He stands sentinel. Deadeningly tasteful, visibly expensive. That's how it is here. I assume he's gonna block our way. Matis, a large blonde gentleman in orderly's whites walks the hallway listening to a portable radio. He raises his eyes to regard me without enthusiasm. I feel like none of these are good. Listen to the music. Dislikes respectable. I don't think any of these are gonna work well, but Lagasse, of course. She makes an impression, Mademoiselle Lagasse. And now she is gone. I've learned that Nina Lagasse has left the sanitarium aujourd'hui. Someone here will know where she went. Where? The director might know, I do not. This is not a library. It is not a bureau of information. Dislikes. Go 15%. Act with passion, anger. Take me to the director. Concede. I wanted like a neutral option, but there wasn't one. The man folds his arms. He neither moves nor changes expression. He's now very wary. I will know who you are and what you're doing here. The knight knows there is some small risk sharing my name, but there may be no other way forward here. My name is Spencer Hobson. I fear I'm no longer just the subject of rumor, but under active surveillance. The man reaches out for the passport. I'll let him take it. He scrutinizes the passport, eyes crinkling, lips moving slightly. He hands it back to me. You have a name that opens doors, Monsieur Hobson. The director is in his office, over there by the stairs. Thank you. He approves. Oh, you didn't like respectable. Wait, which... okay. I don't think we want to, like, check the other doors. Check the time. The hands clatter desperately as if trying to break free of this moment. 12 division marks watch hungrily. The wars were hard on clocks. Another vivid abstract, like the one at the door. Wasn't there another one like this back by the door? Yes, and I forgot to examine. I didn't quite see that highlight. Abstract in vivid colors. Somehow it brings Nina Lagasse to mind. Abstract in vivid colors. If we have to see the director, I fear I'm gonna like fail every check because of our debuffs. Anything, any information to grab quickly first? Look at all these certificates. Excuse me, I'm just gonna walk right by you. Look at the plague doctor mask. A mountain lake. A lonely figure pulls a flatboat across the lake of pistachio green. Peaceful. In this painting before. Not getting anywhere with that. Observation feels pretty useful. Oh, these are the... Okay, these are all of them. What about the... I'm by a wall at the back of Aubierre's office. The mirror has been placed here to catch and share the light that falls through the windows. Examine the wall quickly. There's a slightly discolored rectangle on the wall behind the mirror. Was there a door here, now painted and plastered over? A cough from the doctor. Mirrors, they are duplicitous things. The war. Yes, especially since the war. So, he approves. Can I look at myself, or is that gonna, like... Back to my reflection. No longer young, but not yet old. I was 9 years gone from the world. I even really wear a body for any of that time? So it didn't age. Still a handsome fellow. Debonair even. And can we look at... okay. Now we will talk. The director is a man in distinguished middle age with a look of sleek intelligence. His hair, his nails, his smile are all extremely clean. Dr. Aubier. Spencer Hobson, what a fortunate and delightful honor. I'm Dr. Aubier. You're very welcome to my little institution, Monsieur Hobson. The honor is mine, Dr. Aubier. He approves and is now very receptive. Not at all, I do hope I may be of some assistance. So, I'm looking for a former patient of yours, Nina Lagasse. May I ask, what is your interest? We do have 100% here, so let us critical fail. You may know that I'm a medical man myself. I'm concerned for her health. Indeed, I do not discount your expertise, but you have no credentials in this country. But he approves. You must understand, an alienist, a physician of psychic organs. I prefer to say psychiatrist, if you're familiar with the term, is in some respects, and only in these respects, like the adept of the invisible arts. Wait for him, spit it out, man. Wait for him to finish. It is a grave responsibility, Monsieur Hobson, to be a healer of minds, just as it is an adept. Especially minds so exceptional as those of our patients. We will wait, even though I do need to finish. And that I am a holder of the keeper, the guardian of certain information not shared with the wider public. That includes any information I might have on Mademoiselle Lagasse's whereabouts. Is there nothing you can tell me? I've come a long way to find her. Well, certain privileges are afforded to me by our patrons. I'd very much like to employ those privileges to your benefits. That's very kind of you, Dr. Aubier. I hope I can return your kindness in some way. He approves and is now appreciative. I propose an arrangement. I have in my desk a certain box which has resisted my efforts to open it. For your so mysterious disappearance, you were, I understand, good with locks, sealed safeguards of that kind. The doctor bends over his chair to poke around in a drawer at the base of his desk. For a few seconds, he bends low enough that his head is beneath the level of his desktop. Zero. The sunlight unfolds itself tidily across the desk, softened by the glass of the window. The softened color of it takes me back. Just so, the corner sunlight folded itself across the desk in the Westcott room, where Serena would wait to question me after my visits to the infirmary. This Aubier is a little like Serena, a velvet surface, but under pressure, hard as oak. Here, do you know what is a pix? Aubier is vertical again. He's holding a circular box the size of a small cake tin. A worn silver-gilled dove sits atop it. A vessel to carry the consecrated host to those too ill to attend church. Just so. This is perhaps a very old pyx, or one source has it, a reliquary, a relic perhaps of St. Galileo himself. In any case, it has proven difficult to open. I'm reluctant to damage it. Where did it come from? If maybe some information will help us open it? It was a gift to the institution from another guest, someone who collects curios. I thought he wanted to show his gratitude to us, but I begin to suspect a little prank. What's in it? If it's a pyx, then I would imagine only the dust of centuries. If a reliquary, then perhaps a relic of St. Galileo. Or it might be a surprise. Enticing, no? We'll just hold out hand. The box is heavy, cold to the touch. One quartz crystal flashes in the Antibes sunlight. The dove's other eye is missing. Examine the box for hidden catches. Success? Nothing, though my fingers linger on the details of the feathers. It's of a shape with love. Oh. Touch the box with a tongue tip. I think we have to taste the dove. The chill of the metal is more clearly perceptible. There is no taste except the dust of the object. Kept for some time in a doctor's desk. Give the box a more definite slurping lick. There is, for sure, disco DNA right here. Let us withdraw the tongue. A dove. There's an hour named Elegiast, the ivory dove he's called. For whom nothing more can be taken, for who cannot be deceived, who calls the dead by name, sometimes called the ivory dove. Not the kindest of the aviform hours, like bird-like, but never cruel. He's always remembered what the world forgets. We're the shape of birds, twin funeral kites, laughing thrush, dove, crow. My heart would add a magpie to their number. The night would suggest a seventh. Alexandria is relieved to learn the aviforms weathered the war in the sun much better than most. My heart recalls some matter of the lark, but that's not an aviform hour. I recognize the roost. When I was young and foolish, I tried to find the roost where the aviforms exchange their secret gossip. Very glad I failed. Long who ascend under the Elegiast have been called ghouls. This isn't very nice, but they do in fact break open graves to feast on the memories of the dead flesh. Hours don't dream, long try not to. Mortals who gained immortality through a devotion to a principle in service of an hour are called long. Most were formerly counted among the no. Perhaps some were never mortal. Mortals who answered the dream riddle and entered the mansis through the stag door and returned, otherwise they probably don't count as mortal anymore. The house without walls, the house behind the world, which has always been the dwelling spirit of most hours, and the names, many human spirits among the dead. I'm just gonna grab some of these, because we will need to return. It's a kindly hour. It's the Elegiast who ensures the dead are remembered. Busy hour then, these last 10 years. Press the dove's eye. Nothing happens. Over steepled fingers. I don't want to, like, mess with it too much. Nothing happens. A rattling sound. There's something inside. The weight of a large coin. Definitely neither consecrated wafers nor dust. we have a 10% chance. Right at the lid of the box with a fingernail. With almost no pressure, the lid easily pops and unceremoniously out. The box is open. Inside, a little white ceramic jar. Obier's mouth is also open. Remarkable. Obier cracks open a new notebook, clicks a clean chrome ballpoint pen, and excitedly jots down a note. You seem surprised, Doctor. Yes, I must confess that I am. I'd hoped you'd be able to open the box. I don't expect you to succeed so anticlimactically. Don't underestimate me again. Your turn. Obier stops writing. He purses his mouth thoughtfully. I apologize most sincerely, Monsieur Hobson. I've reconsidered. I think that it would be therapeutically unhelpful for me to tell you where to find Mademoiselle Lagasse. Look him in the eyes and wait. Sorrow. After a few moments, Obier looks away. He coughs to cover his embarrassment. My revised proposal is this. You remain a guest for a few days so that I can satisfy my concerns about your well-being. Your medical history is extraordinary. You must know that. You've clearly prepared Mademoiselle Lagasse's room for a new... or we have already prepared. You'll find it upstairs. You mean the worms ate me, but here I am? Obier makes a move of distaste, just so, among other things. Yes, and what if I want to leave? Good heavens, Monsieur Hobson, then you can leave, of course, at any time. I would, in any case, find it very difficult to restrict your movements. 2 days, how long exactly? Oh, not so very long. I would not expect as long as a week, but I must make my assessment. No response. It is full of sunlight in this room, but I can almost hear the night. The night would say, stay here and you might win this man's cooperation. Or you might find another way. You might not need his cooperation. Anything... Want to treat me or to study me? Obier flaps a hand deprecatingly, as an old friend of mine might say, why only one? Why only two? Or, I reject your dichotomy. Decide, Dr. Obier. Yes? I'll stay here for the moment and perhaps we'll talk again. Thank you, Monsieur Hobson. I could in all candor ask for nothing more except, perhaps my box. May I please have my box back? I want to be... Will he see it if I pocket it? I mean, I don't know how... He doesn't seem like a evil person. Option 3 is fun, but I don't know if it's clearly the character I am role-playing. I'll pocket the little jar. And I see you, well then, so be it. I am a realist. Well, he saw. Goodbye for now, Monsieur Hobson. I hope you'll speak to all our other guests. I'm interested to learn what you all make of each other. Think things through on my way out of the office. What are my options? Coercion? Night work? The other kind of night work? Simple courtesy? I mean, we are a doctor. I've been trying to get compassion. To just cooperate with the man, as he suggested, and hope to win him round eventually. What that for a game of soldiers? What are my options? Coercion? Blackmail, perhaps, if I could sniff out his secrets. Maybe information that compels Dr. Obier's assistance. Perhaps someone else in the sanitarium can help me. Night work? At night, when Dr. Obier is gone from his office, I might be able to locate his records. The other kind of night work? With the right tools, or the right assistance, his dreams might be open to me. Ooh. The mantis has fallen, but we still dream. Dr. Obier must go somewhere to dream. A sufficiently skilled Nyctodromist might follow him there. Perhaps there's another way. Ready, that's everything that I might consider doing. Let's explore the sanitarium. Is there actually? I might finish the demo here. That's so funny. I really checked for other people that played, and there weren't many because this is fairly recent. And I saw like a 2-hour one and an hour one, but unless I like go in here and it says I might finish here, and either I'll finish on my own or I will return to this on stream when I just get a better sense of how much is there. Definitely still not sure how I feel about this game yet. Seems pretty unfocused. I definitely want to check out Book of Hours. I mean, I'm trying to think. I need to process it a little bit. I'm both completely I have... Oh, we do it. Okay, you're an associate now. I mean, it's interesting to go into it not having played the other games, and I felt like it might be useful for some people to see what it's like to play, like, blindly. And there's so much lore. There's just I was actually unfortunately getting to the point where my throat's drying out. I'm a little, like, apprehensive of this map as much as I love it, because if they pull it off, that's amazing, but this is a lot of mechanics and content, and I don't know how big the team is. I mean, I'd love it if they could, but it's also just like, can they? This is an incredible page, and there was just like so much going on, just like mechanically. I wasn't sure, and I don't know if like I ran into a bug when I wasn't able to craft this or not. But like, although I want to know, I like this idea of like the hollow man, the hollowed out person. I like these skills. I like whatever's going on here. But I need to... Appreciative, like respectable modern martial. And like, I didn't even like finish those other quests. There's just the like... I guess in Disco it had like the red checks, which were the ones you could only do once. So it's just for like, there's the only thing I'm annoyed at was that one like answer where I'm like, I couldn't quite answer it properly. I couldn't quite like answer it the way I wanted to, like gain a bit of information, then like spill everything, because now I'm not sure how I can complete the quests. And we haven't been given... I want more options, and maybe they're just here, I just haven't figured them out yet, to decrease these. I don't know if we just have to like get more items to do that. And part of it is, because one thing, I don't like comparing to Disco, and like maybe this is the choice that it's meant to be more unforgiving, because Disco Elysium is quite forgiving. I mean, unless you're like playing with like a stat set where you only have like 1 or 2 health or something. Oh, there is save scumming here, which I haven't been doing, but you could... I think it's really interesting though that it's like sort of built in. The like tips are like, it's an option for you, you're allowed to do it, and it does kind of feel like the lore. But like, it definitely feels like designed for me in many respects, in that sort of urban supernatural and magic, and like this sort of alternate post-World War Europe. They're all like settings I'm super compelled by. And then I don't know if it's possible, but, and it's definitely not something you really see in demos, if there could be voice acting just for the characters, it would make it easier to stream. But that doesn't have to, but I know that's like a big ask, and I imagine with a map this big, probably a lot of characters and a lot of like accents you're gonna want. Irrelevant, and these are okay, so they're not finished as well, but I do like seeing how comprehensive this is. Having a good like journal system with these kinds of games is really important. But now I can see why I need that. But again, I haven't finished the demo. Troubles. Okay, but lots of interesting ideas. But definitely want to check in the other games. Definitely there's some friends I like. I want to be like, please go play this demo though. Right up our alley. Right up our alley with all this. But I really should finish up here. I need to go check out like just the beginning of those other people that were playing the demo. I want to fix the thumbnail, as this was a bit last minute. Were they going through all the lore? And then if I can like submit, I'd like a more comprehensive like footnote, like still have the search, but like if it's possible to. I like that we have like these ones that we haven't really clicked through. Probably I haven't like given the answers, but oh my goodness, this system is so cool though. That would be like sort of my light feedback. Like the music, like the visuals. Particularly the character portraits. I really like that sort of lineless art style. Like we can get a companion. But we shall see. I don't know how long, again, not knowing how long this demo is, but I'm still just like, this is a big world. And like, I don't know how much of the game they've done, but if they need maps and characters for every single one of these, that's a lot. I think I remember reading in like the Disco Elysium like development, just like, I mean, when you know like the Disco Elysium world is huge, but like how much they had to focus in. I think originally they did want to like focus on a slightly larger area, but they had to like keep making it smaller and smaller, and still look how big that game feels. But definitely very interested. Cult Sim is a grand old time, at least one run. Do you think it's good for... The other question, of course, about these games is, are they good for streaming? Just in terms of, like, the amount of, like, is the gameplay compelling to watch? I mean, I'll play almost anything on stream, at least try it out, but, like, for a longer term stream, is it interesting to watch? For instance, or is there like too much going on? Because I know there's sort of like time-based stuff in Cultist Simulator. I feel like I watched Mandalore Gaming's review a long time ago. I don't really remember. If I'm like really stressed for time, then I can't react to chat as much. But either way, I will finish up here, and thank you for... Oh, I'm super excited about this though. Thank you for letting me share with everyone. Not especially. Coldsim's pretty busy. Book of Hours at glacial pace, but it's all reading. Not good streaming games. But fun for me. It'll be fun for me. I mean, I could like try them out on stream. I made the thumbnail. The second game, the library went pretty chill, I think. You aren't pressed, which means good onboarding. I could like just do like one episode on them. I also think it's like interesting to show them off. But something that made me happy here was just seeing people like, oh, I didn't know there's the third game. The third game's out. And I was like, yeah, it feels like it kinda flew under the radar. But anyway, bigger priority, I need to do a redemption stream for Darkest Dungeon. I seemingly got it working properly this time. Darkest Dungeon run, so that'll be next week, and then I haven't totally decided what I'm doing, but we will figure that out. So thank you everybody. Thank you. And I will when those games over. I'll move as I move to the other monitor. So thank you everybody. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.